What is going on, Spurs Nation? What's going on, Spurs Nation? Welcome to Bucking Spurs Film Room Live, powered by Project Spurs and
KBD does a
ProjectSpurs.com.
good job of
Thank you guys. Thank you for
balancing the
watching. Thank you for
floor,
stopping
getting
in.
out of the
I was
way,
supposed to
and
do
heading
this
to the
yesterday,
corner.
but had a lot
Set
of
up on the
crazy
bottom
little
of the
personal
screen
things
is a
happen all
down
day, so
screen for Derek
couldn't get
White
to
to
it.
come up and
Apologize,
get the ball,
but
and then once Derek
here we
White
go.
catches the ball, he's going to
Thank you guys for
immediately
watching.
turn
Please hit
around
the
and use the
subscribe
same
button down
screen
below.
from Jakob
Hit the
and
like button
initiate
as
a
well.
pick
There's
and
a little
roll
bell
action,
down there
puts
as
the
well
pass
that if you
right
hit
in the
it,
pocket. Meanwhile,
you'll get
Keldon
notified
Johnson
whenever
is
more
just
Spurs
waiting, watching
content
the
is
play, ready
dropping
to
here
help
on the channel
on the
of
roll
Bucking
man.
Spurs. Thank you guys
Once
for stopping
Jakob
by.
catches
Now, really
this
quick,
ball,
as we start the show,
Jakob realizes that he has two
support
shooters to pick from.
or submit your
Bryn
question. How
Forbes
do you
is in
do
a
that?
bad
How do we get your
spot,
question up
and at
on
this point, you
screen?
can look at the coach is very
You
happy
could do that
with Jakob's decision making
all day,
on
every
this
day,
role.
24 hours a day, 7 days
Kicks
a
the
week,
ball out
and
to
the
Devin
link
Vassell,
in the description below.
which
So in
leads
the
to
description,
a
there's
wide
a
open
link. It's
three-pointer.
streamelements.com
No
/a
wasted
Bucking
movement,
Spurs
quick
podcast
decisions on everybody involved,
tip,
which led to a wide open three. This is
and
great ball movement.
that's how
from
you do it.
Spurs.
So when you leave a question, you will be when you leave a question, and when you tip, it will be answered on the show. Okay, so on the next show that we do, if we don't get to it today, it will be answered tomorrow. All right, so if you leave a tip of $20 or more, I will not just answer your question. I will do a whole little video for your question. All right, so now that's being said, let's get to the film room. All right, so Spurs versus Memphis, November 11th, 2019. Let's go ahead and get rid of me, and let's start talking about this game. So let's take a look at the box score really quick. Spurs versus Memphis, November 11th. It was a 4-point loss for San Antonio. This was actually one of the closest losses that we had between us two. We did have a 40-point win during the season, but I know a lot of people wanted me to go ahead and dissect that game, but realistically, let's look at it right here. Let's look at it right here. Pull that up for me. Okay. Oh my God. Here you go. Let's look at the 4 games that we played against Memphis this year. Okay, so in the beginning of the season, we did pretty well, right? In the preseason, that doesn't really matter. This is the game that we're going to be talking about early on in November. The Spurs did have a nice victory in December against the Grizzlies. Now, in this game, LaMarcus Aldridge went off for 40 points. And that's really the reason why we won. I would like to say that we did a lot of things well in that game, and really we only did one thing well, and that was get LaMarcus Aldridge the ball. He had 25 points in the first quarter, I believe, so that one really didn't give me a lot to dissect. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this game over here. And this one, we lost by 13 points against the Grizzlies, right? So we lost by 13 points here. This one was a 4-point game, so I decided to do this one. So let's get into it already. Let me go ahead and bring this down, stop sharing the screen, and let's get to the footage. All right, here we go. Now, first things first on this game, what we got to talk about is that it was Tony Parker night in San Antonio. We were retiring his jersey. It was going to be a special night. I think the Spurs, in particularly chose this game so that the Spurs can probably get a W. They were looking at the schedule, maybe what was one of the safest game on the schedule, and it was this one. You know what? A little side note is that Tony Parker was 47-12 in his career against Memphis. So struggling with Memphis now, that's something new for Spurs fans. So let's get into it. First thing in this fourth quarter, where are we starting? The game is 84-91. We're picking up full court here. Now, this is the last play that Memphis kind of gets the Spurs with, and then the Spurs kind of go on a run after this. All right, so on this play, this is a nice play right here. Kyle Anderson, shout out to Slow-Mo. It's a nice 1-4 set, so they're going to bring up everybody high. If you see 1, 2, 3 players high, and here comes Ja Morant, and he does a nice job setting up DeJounte Murray. Look at all this open space back here. There's no help side defense. I mean, really, I don't think Bryn needs to be over here. Bryn maybe should be in help so he can be able to cut off the baseline. But so we're fouling them. We're putting them at the line. It's okay. There's still 14 seconds left. Plenty of time to get some shots off and try to get back in this game. knocks down the free throw there. See how he does the second one. Brooks knocks it down. So they're not missing free throws. We've missed how many just in the last few minutes? I think we missed 2 free throws. All right, so just think. We could be down 1 or we could be down 2 right now, but instead we're down 3. Okay, let's move forward to see what the Spurs draw up here. Spurs are down 4 points, 14 seconds left. Still plenty of time to draw something up and get a quick 2 and play the foul game. We know we do that all the time in San Antonio. How many times have we been in this situation right here, down by 4, 14 seconds left? We're drawing up a quick high play to get a backdoor action to the rim and try to get an easy bucket from Manu or someone cutting backdoor. And then, there's 10 seconds left and we foul, we put them on the line again. That's an example of something we used to do. But we get the ball in here. We go to DeMar DeRozan. And check this out. Actually, we do what I just talked about. We spaced out the floor, let DeMar go to the rim and try to get a quick 2. And if you tell me that there's contact there, I'm going to disagree with you. But this ref is going to call it anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what you call a makeup call. That's exactly what you call a makeup call. From DeMar getting hammered, let's go back, right? Let's go back to this. Let's go back. Rewind. Okay, right before this possession. Whoa, did I go back way too far? Yeah, sorry. Sorry, guys. Way too much. When the possession before, DeMar got laid out, right? A few times. And now, on this possession, the ref's going to go ahead and make this call. I'm sorry, I rewinded for nothing, but here you go. That is a makeup call. The whole Houston bench knows it. Look at him. Look at Valanciunas. Look at Valanciunas. Okay, yeah, and no one can believe it on the court. Jaren Jackson has been. Look at Jaren Jackson. Jay Crowder, they're just going nuts. But hey, what a break for San Antonio, right? So the Spurs are down by 4. We get an opportunity, a call that should not have been called. But what are we going to do with it? If we knock them both down, then it's what? It's 10-11. It's a 2-point game. 9 seconds left. Plenty of time to still play the foul game. All right, well, let's see what happens. Wow, they overturned the call, so it ends up being a jump ball scenario. Right, we're down. We need a 3 ball, so it's quick. We get the tip, and the best shot we can get right here. There's 5 seconds left. I mean, come on. Like, the game is not over, even on this possession. We're down by 4, 9 seconds left, right? We get the tip. Everything has gone our way in the last 4 or 5 possessions, but we have not been able to capitalize on them, right? And here's another one. You're not telling me that we just inserted Bryn Forbes in the game so we can get this one pass look 3 ball from DeMar DeRozan. One of his, 8, 10 3 balls that he shot this season. I'm not sure what that is, but that's the shot that we get. There's still 5 seconds left. What are we doing? This is not the shot that we take if we're trying to win this game. That's all I'm saying. So it's a 4-point game. Yes. Do we need things to go our way? Yes. But technically, like you just saw, a lot of things were going our way, but we could not capitalize. We needed a quick bucket here. We needed to score either a quick layup or a shot needs to go down, a 2 or a 3, and we need a foul with like a second, 2 seconds left, and then we don't have no more timeouts, so we need a full court press after that, right? So I don't know about this shot right there. I wish we could find another one. And you think it's over, right? There's a second left. You think it's over. But psych, check this out. Memphis gives us another opportunity because LaMarcus goes in there and kind of pokes at Jay Crowder, who I just told you was feeling himself all game long. He hit us with a couple of daggers there late in the fourth quarter. So he's feeling himself just a little bit too much. And right here decides to just bark at the ref for not calling a dead ball and gets teed up right there. So again, we get a technical foul. Great. What does that mean? That it's our ball and the possession. A second left. How many chances have we had here in the last 4 or 5 possessions to get back in this game or take the lead? We blew a couple free throws. And we just blew a couple of opportunities to take advantage. And here we are again at the free throw line. Big shot here. This shot here can make it a 1-possession game for San Antonio. DeMar doesn't knock it down. Now, I'm not saying he did on purpose. I'm not saying any of that. But what I am saying is that we needed that shot, and it didn't come. And it ends up in DeMar's hands again to get this one off. So we had every opportunity to win this game here at the end. Very unfortunate that we were not able to do so. Just to let you guys know that are watching, if you look at this banner right here that's clicking on the top, on the bottom of the screen, says support or submit your question for this current show or the next show 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The link is in the description below. If you go ahead and click that link, you can get sent over to my tip page. What you got to do is leave a question when you tip, and it'll be answered on the show or the next show that we do. And if you want to tip Bucking Spurs, you want to help us out even more and just support what we're doing over here, tip $20 or more, and I'll do your question, and I'll break it down into its own video for you. So you can do all that. All the information for that is in the description below. So go ahead and head over there as well. Brand new. This is a new thing I'm working with here, stream elements and stuff. So I'm really excited for this opportunity for you guys to engage with me and support me as we go through this as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hit to the comments. I'm looking at the chat room. That thing's not really firing up right now. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the live chat room and see what you guys going on. Anthony Duran wants to know, what kind of role do you see Tyler Zeller playing in the bubble? He's going to be playing the Jakob role. The guy, he's just going to rebound, set screens, get putbacks. You know, if DJ or Derek is driving to the rim, hopefully Tyler Zeller can be there to be the recipient of a nice dish. He's not going to have a big role, but I know he's signed up till next season, I believe. So he's locked in for a little while, and that's good security because with LaMarcus out and Jakob going through what he went through, you know, these past few days with his comments, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of depth there. Appreciate your comment. Love from Brazil to all Spurs family. Thank you, Eduardo. Appreciate you stopping by. Let's see what else we got here in this chat room. Make a video on Dedrick Lawson. Find that tip jar link down below, and then we'll talk. We'll talk, okay? Thank you guys for hanging out with me. This has been the film breakdown of San Antonio's versus Memphis on November 11, 2019. I know the beginning started off a little bit rocky, but this is how we're going to do things now on this show when it comes to getting your questions on screen. Let me take that one off. You got to go to the description below down here, and you can find the link, and that's where you're going to go. All right. And drop your question. I'll be glad to answer them on this show or the next show live if I get it live, or if not on the next one. All right. So appreciate you guys. You can go to robtrejojr.com/Bucking Spurs to check out what we got going on over there. Go to projectspurs.com. Check out what they got going on. This has been a Bucking Spurs live film room. Thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate y'all. Adios.
Liftoff. Hey, isn't we supposed to be having a fiesta? Watch this. We're supposed to be having a fiesta.
San Antonio Spurs Nation, go Spurs, go. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. I hope that it's a sunny, beautiful day in your life. It's a great day for Spurs Nation. We have great young talent here that were playing in the G League. Yeah, we may have went 1-4 or whatever it was, but I mean, there was a lot of development, a lot of good things that were happening in the Las Vegas Summer League for the San Antonio Spurs. So, you know, I pulled out some of my highlights, you know, from some of the games that I like, some of the performances, some of the key things that I want to talk about. I pulled them out to go over with you guys here today, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to, you know, dive into some film, right? We're going to dive into some some of the highlights, some of the areas of improvement for each one of these players that are our picks that are going to be contributing to the team next year. So that's going to be Devin Vassell, that's going to be Trey Jones, and that's going to be Joshua Primo. So we're going to look at a little bit of film on each one of these players, and that should be a lot of fun. So thank you guys for hanging out. First off, you're doing a great job right now. You're watching, you're supporting the show. Appreciate you guys. If you want to go above and beyond, go ahead and smash that like button down below. Chant "Go Spurs Go" when you do. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when we go live on this channel or when we drop new content. Leave a comment, leave a comment in the post live or in the chat if you're here live. And share this video with the rest of the Spurs Nation. If you want to go a little bit more above and beyond, check out the Patreon link in the description below. Really go. It goes a long way to support this channel. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out first off, and just being part of Spurs Nation. Go Spurs Go on YouTube, man. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, we're gonna talk about Devin Vassell first, right? So Devin Vassell only played in 2 games. He dealt with a few injuries along the way. Against Minnesota, that was really, the sample that I like to look at. That's the sample that we're going to be looking at here tonight. He played 29 minutes. He was 6 for 16, 37% from the field. He was 3 for 6, 50% from the 3-point line, 8 for 8 from the free throw line. And this game went down to the wire, right? He put up 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 23 points in that matchup. He also got a little bit of tick against Chicago. That's when he went down. So let's go ahead and kind of look into some of this game tape against Minnesota, and we're going to look specifically into the 4th quarter. Let's see. All right, guys. So also, I got a couple new tools here that I'm going to be messing with on this film room. Okay, so there might be a couple technical difficulties along the way, but it should be a better show. So what we're going to do first off is we're going to look at some of the offensive plays from Devin Vassell. What we want to do first is keep an eye on him. He's over here in the corner, right? He's going to be the main piece of this play. He's going to be working a couple screen and rolls. It's going to be pretty nice. What I want you to pay attention first off is his first move and how he sets his defender up going baseline first before he receives the basketball. It's the little things that really separate good players and great players in the NBA. So we're seeing Devin Vassell here, right? The play is getting operated. He's about to receive this handoff. And like I said earlier, he's going to go ahead and set his guy up first with this one step. Now, that's the only separation that he's going to have on this play right here, but that's all you need, right? That's the NBA, so he works to get open here. Now, what I like is that how he comes off of this screen here and then sizes up his defender, sees that he went underneath the screen and isn't chasing over top. So that lets Devin Vassell go from, heading in one direction with this screen. He was supposed to come off this way off the handoff, right? But now he's going to wait, be a little bit patient, keep the defender coming back around the other way on the screen. And that's where he operates here to get his shot off. Right? Sizes up the screen and roll right here, plays his defender, keeps him on a string, rises up, and knocks it down. Something that Devin Vassell's been showing a lot of in the Summer League is his ability to score off the dribble. And that's just one of the examples that we're going to go over, right? All right, so here we have Devin Vassell. Let's go ahead and highlight him here so we can keep an eye on what we're looking at here. We're going to see Devin Vassell here operate on the defensive end. Okay, so right here, he does a great job of avoiding a backdoor. We all know how great Devin Vassell is defensively, but it's his ability to recover and use his length, right, to really make himself versatile, right? So here we go. We got him. The guy he's guarding went back door on him here. Nice play. Steps up. Great mechanics. Gets a hand on the ball right here. Makes the pass. He deflects the pass. Is able to grab it and then take off in transition. Right now, Devin Vassell has got to thrive in these defensive turnovers that he can create and keep the ball. And he needs to stay in attack mode, right? So which he does a great job here. Pushes the floor and is able to get to go to the free throw line here on this one. Right? Gets the foul call. Right? So that's just a great defensive play that led up to a great offensive transition opportunity, right? So here we are in transition. Now, transition, guys, transition defense is probably number 1 on the priority list of San Antonio Spurs, right? Like for the Spurs, like if you're not busting your tail in transition, you're not going to see the floor. We see Devin Vassell over here, right? And now what I want to show you here is that, the two-way ability here from Devin Vassell, right? So we're going to see him contest here, and then we're going to see him run back the other way on offense, right? So, all right. So, excuse me for being a little slow with this new tool, guys. I want to, mess around with this a little bit. So, contests that 3-point shot, heads back in transition, is going to receive this pass here from Primo. Now, here we go again. Love the way that Devin Vassell was showing the ability to work around and work with the screener and is able to do this little give and go action, right? So right here, Devin Vassell is coming around here off this handoff, right? Now he's going to play around in here in the 3-point line to get this shot off. So here he goes, sets his guy up. Every time Devin Vassell moves, makes a move on the defender, he's going to set his guy up first, right? Create a little bit of separation, comes off the screen, and then knocks it down, right? Devin Vassell was just so comfortable in his pocket. These first two shots that we're looking at are just examples of Devin Vassell just feeling comfortable with the ball in his hands at the 3-point line or off the dribble. All right, so here we go again. We're going to see Devin Vassell again in that same corner that we were talking about earlier. Devin Vassell likes to operate starting here because he's able to create some separation between him and his defender using his athleticism and moving off ball, right? So here we go again. Coming off this handoff right here is going to stop off the screen and roll. Give it up again. Come off this screen and rise up to knock it down. Very comfortable off these screen and roll actions, man. Letting it go. Let's rewind it back from the beginning. So we're putting Devin Vassell here in the corner spot and letting him go to work, right? So first off, comes off, receives this handoff, little give and go action, another fake on him, puts the ball here in front, sees the separation between him and his and the big man, right? Sees that he's not going to step up, rises up, and then just knocks it down. Great form here from Devin Vassell, man. The way he's able to rise up, go up, straight down. That was one of the better looking shots I've seen out of him. Great shot. All right, so here we go. We're going to see Devin Vassell work a little bit here on defense, cause a little havoc. What I like here about this play, the reason why I put this play in here, because Devin Vassell didn't settle. Devin Vassell did not settle on just following his guy. No, he wanted to make an impact on this play, right? So let's rewind it from the beginning. First off, he's getting after ball, right? Now, this was McDaniels, right? This is a good player over here from Minnesota. Stays in front, gets after it, uses his length, gets a hand on the ball, right? Causes a deflection, stays with it. His player gets out of the way. But as soon as he sees this guy take off with the ball, Devin Vassell doesn't leave. He stays, again, to get after it. And the extra efforts, the extra hustle plays, they pay off and led to a turnover here. And that's pretty much all caused by Devin Vassell on this end. All right, so, we looked at a lot of good things here from Devin Vassell defensively, but we can look at some of these areas that he needs to improve on too. An area that he needs to improve on is just size, right? He needs to be able to just he has the length and the athleticism, the height to be a versatile small forward and maybe even play some stretch power forward, right? But he's going to have to bang a little bit more. And on this play, we're going to see Devin Vassell get switched up here with a big man who was just in our business this whole game, man. So I forget his name, but I did a film room on him once upon a time. So anyways, Devin Vassell is going to get switched up and then he's going to have to battle, right? So let's go ahead and take a look. Play is going to start off this first initial down screen. I would like to see Devin Vassell stick with his guy right here, right? But I guess, good screen. Looks like this was towards the late in the fourth quarter. So I think the coach might have been saying, hey, we're going to switch all screens, right? So we switch. Now right here, we're going to see Devin Vassell have to battle on the block. And immediately he just kind of gives up position on this rebound. The big man does a good job of just pushing Devin Vassell out of the way, creating a little separation for himself on the backside, and is able to snag this rebound. That was a huge rebound right there. I think it either tied it up or gave him a lead, with a minute or so left in the game, right? So that was a big opportunity, to kind of, if we can get that box out right there, man. It's the little things, I'm not here just to look at the jump shots and the offense and the crossovers, but we got to zoom in on the little things. And this is a film session right now. If I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm going to approach this film session like if I were to do it with my own team, I'm rarely going over positives, right? I'm rarely going over positives. I mean, yes, I mentioned them here and there. That's a good job. That's a good job at this or that. But we hone in on the areas that we need to improve on in the film room session, right? And so right here, he shows just a little area of development that he still needs to kind of work on, and all that just comes with time. Getting that strength, putting on some weight to kind of bang around a little bit more, so stuff like this doesn't happen, especially late in the game, right? All right. So that's some of the key plays that I like from Devin Vassell in this matchup. This was all from the fourth quarter. He went on a nice 10-0 run by himself to bring the Spurs back against the Minnesota Timberwolves, right? So next guy we're going to look at in this film room session is Tre Jones, right? Tre Jones has been making headlines and highlight reels, and everyone's talking about him because he's one of the leading scorers in the summer league. And we saw it in the Gubble this year that Tre Jones is a underrated scorer. I mean, that was one of the huge surprises for me this season, was the fact that Tre Jones can score the ball. I just thought he was going to be a solid backup point guard, kind of like Kojo, right? Kind of like Corey Joseph was, but Tre Jones is telling us that he has a lot more in his bag, right? So if we look at his stat sheets, he's averaging over 20 points a game, but he got the most run in the summer league, right? He got to play in 4 of the 5 games against Minnesota, Chicago, Charlotte, and Brooklyn. In each one of these games, he logged over 25 minutes, right? So 25 against Brooklyn, 26 against Minnesota. That was his first game back. Tre Jones did not play in the Utah Summer League, right? So that game against Minnesota, he played great. I mean, he had 16 points, 8 assists, right, in that Minnesota game, but he had a little bit of rust on him, you can tell, but it shook off by the fourth quarter in that game. It was a great game. Against Chicago, he finished with 23 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. He was 9 for 19 from the field, right? Okay, and then he followed that up with a 12 for 20 from the field, shot 60% against Charlotte. That was a huge game against Charlotte. We know about that one. And that's actually the game that we're going to kind of key in on the film room here, is we're going to look at Tre Jones' fourth quarter against Charlotte, where he hit that game-winning bucket. We're going to look at some of the areas that he highlighted his abilities and his skills. But like I said, this is a film room session. We're going to look into some areas that if I was the coach, I'd be pointing these out in the film room session, where Tre Jones needs to kind of step it up a little bit here and there, right? But that's fine. Everyone does. I'm not dogging anyone. It's just, hey, we got to look at the whole picture here. Against Charlotte, he finished with 34 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. 7 turnovers, though. 7 turnovers from him in that game. But he was a high volume player in this game. So, it kind of goes with the territory. And then he finished up against Brooklyn, 18 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds in 25 minutes, right? So did not play in that final game against the OKC Thunder, right? So let's go ahead and take a look into the film on Tre Jones against Charlotte. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on this Tuesday evening. It's the first Tuesday show. The new shows are going to be on Tuesday and Thursday nights, guys, at 8:30. So in case you didn't know, now you know. Okay. I'm going to hit up the chat room right here for a second. What's up, Sean Kelly? Thank you for the tip, my man. Appreciate you hanging out. Guys, again, I do a Q&A. I'm going to try to do a Q&A on Sunday, so make sure you tune in on Sunday to chat with me, and I'll put your questions and stuff on screen, and we can talk Spurs. All right, so tune in on Sunday. Thank you guys for subscribing, liking this video, and leaving a comment. All right, go Spurs, go. All right, so let's take a look at the film here. We're going to go ahead and look at Tre Jones. All right, so we're going to look at, like I said, into this game against Charlotte. All right, so we'll start off with some positives, right? Tre Jones was showing a lot of improvements in a lot of areas in his game. Now, one of the main improvements that him and Devin Vassell, I think those of you guys that follow these guys on social media are seeing that Tre Jones and Devin Vassell are spending a lot of time together, working in the gym together. Every time Devin Vassell posts, something on Instagram of them working in the gym, Tre Jones is always there, and you can see him kind of work over these screens, kind of the way that same way that Devin Vassell did, right? So this is David Robinson's son, by the way. He's going to go ahead and set this screen right here. Tre Jones is going to come around and be patient. What I like about Tre Jones is that he doesn't just put his head down, and if nothing's there, he just kicks out. Right. I like that he's a little bit more heady. So when he comes off the screen, he can come off of it and let the defense react. And then he'll secondary react off of what the defense does to find an opportunity. Right. So he creeps his way down here for a nice jump shot in this play here. So let's go back to it here. He's going to go ahead and catch up. catch this ball, square up, give a nice little jab step, use this great screen here. Now, this is what I'm talking about right here. Look at his eyes. Look at Tre Jones right now. If we look at him right here, you would think that he's just automatically, going to kick out to this shooter right here because the defense helped and he has wide open shooter right here in the wing, right? But Tre Jones has a score mentality, I'm telling you. So he keeps his eye on the lane in which he's trying to go to, and he's going to be a little bit patient here and see what opens up. And as soon as the defender shows help and then goes back to the shooter, right? Number 19 here, who actually is a pretty good player. Impressed me a little bit in this game. Tre Jones doesn't just pass the ball, keeps his head down, keeps the attack alive, gets to his spot. And now 31 is huge, man. This guy was in Tre Jones's stuff. We're going to look at it a little bit later. He was, giving Tre Jones a lot of issues here on defensive end, but Tre Jones stops on a dime, creates a little bit of separation here, and is able just to rise up. Now, this mid-range jumper is what I'm talking about. It's a lot. There's a lot of improvement on this jump shot. I mean, just look at the mechanics. First of all, the balance, he's coming to a stop right here, goes straight up, straight down. Now, what I mean by straight up, straight down is that when they take off, guys, when they take off, they go straight up and straight down. When you see players fade forward or if they're fading forward or if they're fading backwards on their jump shot, that's going to affect it in some way. Usually it's going to end up in a brick. But I think what a lot of these young guys are showing is a lot of poise and a lot of patience on their control, on their stop. Devin Vassell did a lot in those shots that we looked at earlier in this film room, and Tre Jones is working on that as well. And a lot of balance. Hey, and I don't know if that's from Chip England or not. I mean, Chip's was over there in Tokyo. So these guys are just putting in the work, I think is what it is. Rises up, butter, right? Nothing but the bottom of the net. That's a tough shot. All right, so here's a play from Tre Jones that shows off the true point guard skills that he has, right? Tre Jones right here, right? Now look at all this right here. Here's 4 Charlotte Hornets, right? So let's let this play go ahead and develop. As he gets this ball, first off, you can tell right here, if you look at Tre Jones, he's already looking down the floor, right? He's not looking at this defender or he's not looking at this guy. His eyes are doing what point guards are supposed to do, right? I mean, keep the pace fast, right? Keep pushing the ball, right? So he's going to go ahead and look down the floor, kind of bypass all these initial guys right here. He's going to go ahead and take off, sprint. I mean, he's fast, man. He's going to use that speed to his advantage. He's just going to go ahead and blow by one defender. Oh, snap. No one's going to pick him up. No one's going to pick him up. Right now, he gets right here to this spot. Now, if you ever played basketball, I'm pretty sure that you did plenty of drills where you would dribble up in the court and you would stop right here and you would have to make a decision, right? Either shoot the ball, pass the ball, keep going to the lane, put a move on your defender, right? Well, as this play develops, you can see Tre Jones surrounded by 5 Hornets right now. That's just great point guard instincts, man. A point guard's got to be able to control the game, right? And Tre Jones is showing the ability to do that, right? Do that pretty well. So he pushes the pace. Joe Wieskamp. Joe Wieskamp makes a great decision here. Now, if he would have just stayed at the 3-point line, I wouldn't have been mad at that either because it's, the modern NBA. But this is old school right here, man. He takes off. He cuts back door, says, I got a wide open layup. So he goes up, puts the up and under on the rim, and gives Tre Jones the assist. That's a great pass, a great play from a point guard to just push the pace, man. Just push the ball, right? All right. So let's go ahead and take a look. Which play is this? All right, so this is going to be, let's take a look here. This is the game-winning play, right? This is the game-winning drive from Tre Jones, right? The infamous game-winning drive. So where's Tre right now? Let's see. They're going to set this play up. Oh, okay. This is a nice play. Let's go ahead and break it down a little bit. Tre Jones is right here. He's standing in front of number 31, right? Now, first thing to go down on this play is that Joe Wieskamp was standing behind Tre Jones. He's going to come all the way around this screen, and that's going to allow Tre Jones to pop out to try to receive this ball, right? So a little tough defense here from Charlotte. Oh, okay. So they put a little wrinkle on this play. I like it. The 4-man is peeling around back to the outside, right? Maybe looking for that alley-oop off the inbounds, right? See if that's open. But Tre Jones, the play was for him. Can't get the ball in right here. Ball gets reversed out, kicked out to him. All right. So that's a great job from the Spurs, not turning it over, taking a bad shot when the play doesn't work, right? Because there's plenty of times when you're a coach and you're calling this play and then, the defense does a great job and kind of shuts it down. And what do your players do? Do they panic? Do they turn it over? What happens? Do they take a terrible shot? Well, the Spurs did a good job of managing the clock here and getting the ball to Tre Jones. Now Tre Jones gets to operate on this high pick and roll, right? So he's going to go ahead and create the switch here with Kai Jones. Now this is very interesting. Kai Jones, a lot of Spurs favorites here. They wanted him in a Spurs jersey this year, but Joshua Primo is the real deal, right? So we made the right choice there. But nothing against Kai Jones, man. Play had a great game in here. Tre Jones shows the fearlessness, in this little guy right here. He's gonna go ahead and take this guy who's like double his size, sees the mismatch, waits for the right time, goes ahead and puts one crossover on him, puts his head down, and goes all the way to the rim. Able to get close to the body on Kai Jones, make it very difficult for him to block this shot. Nice little hang time, gets a good look at the rim. If you can see him right here, gets it off. Nice little kiss off the glass right here, and it goes down, right? Great shot here from Tre Jones. That was for the game. I don't know if you guys saw the social media post, but there was a timeout right before this play, right? There was a timeout. Devin Vassell, great teammate that he is, pulled Tre Jones aside and said, yo, like, you're going to take this shot, and I want you to be aggressive. And Tre Jones like, yeah, I got you. And he tells Tre Jones to show him that you're that guy, right? I think that's pretty much what Devin Vassell told him. Show him that you're that dude, right? And Tre Jones delivered, man. So that was pretty cool. I don't know if you guys saw that post. I think it was on the Spurs Twitter. So great take here from Tre Jones. Okay. Here's another shot of him. Footage is a little glitchy, but that's okay. Taking the big man off the dribble. That's Kai Jones again. This was earlier in the game. Comes to a nice balanced jump stop, right? Look at that. Straight up, straight down. What was I telling you earlier? When these guys get their shot off like that, it's going to go in, man. It's butter, right? That's just a great job of him forcing the issue on this high pick and roll. You can see it right here. It's a little glitchy. But he's going to attack the pick and roll, right? All the way to his sweet spot, and he's going to knock it down. All right, a little bit of glitchy footage. That's all right. So here's another play where Tre Jones is just going to go ahead and push the ball and find the wide open man running. A little glitchy. I'm going to go ahead and keep it moving. But nice lead pass, right? Right off the inbound, right? So that was off of a made basket. Joe Weiskamp's going to inbound the ball to Tre Jones. He's going to take, I don't even know if he takes one dribble or not. Go ahead and looks up the floor. And he's able to put the ball on the money to Daquan Jeffries, man. Daquan Jeffries, I hope he gets a roster spot somewhere, man. He played amazing for the Spurs this summer in Vegas, man. If there was like a way we can, keep him on a two-way or something like that, that would have been great, but it's just not going to happen. I think we signed Joe Weiskamp to a two-way today, right? So probably not, but Daquan Jeffries, I think, made a name for himself here playing with the Spurs. So shout out to Daquan Jeffries. All right. Let's go ahead and keep it moving here. We're going to see Tre Jones operate off this screen, right? He's going to come again to his spot. Now, again, this is not something that we see often, right? This isn't a quality that we see out of especially second rounders, man, right? Where they're able to just kind of be patient with the ball in their hands. But number 31 gets all up in his business, right? This is one instance where Tre Jones, could have made a better decision, put the ball on the floor one or too many times, loses his balance, ends up turning it over, right? There's a little area of improvement, right? All right, so here's another area of improvement from Tre Jones. Now, this was, I think, in the third quarter. And like I said, he had a high volume, a high usage game. So I don't know, maybe it was a little bit of fatigue for Tre, but this is James Bouknight, right? In the draft went this year went a few picks before Primo did in the draft. Tre Jones needs to fight just a little bit harder to get back in front over these double screens. Nice help here from Robinson, but a little too late, ends up giving up the bucket, right? So just a little bit more effort there, but like I said, could have been from fatigue. Here's another instance where I just think, man, maybe he was just a little too tired at this point in the game, because right here, he's guarding ball, right? Now they're going to go ahead and set this screen and create the switch. Now, if you're going to create the switch, now the reason why I'm going to be hard right now on Tre Jones is because I've seen him do this. Like, I've seen him actually like be physical with bigger guys and actually stop bigger guys in their tracks, right? But this just wasn't one of those games, I don't think, for Tre Jones. So as he stays in help here and shot goes up, I mean, if you get switched up on a big man, what do you think big men do? Big men like to go crash the glass. I mean, like as a guard, he knows this, but like again, I don't know, maybe it was just low fatigue, but that's what happens when you start watching ball. When you start watching ball, guys start attacking the rim. Now, he's not the only one. Weiskamp is over here watching ball when the shot goes up. Number 23, I think that's Newman, right? Over here, watches the ball as the shot goes up. So Kai Jones is on his way to the rim. Number 31 is on his way to the rim, try to go crash the glass. And Kai Jones just rises up and puts this massive putback, and that's just, a body. When that shot goes up, if we start looking for our guy to try to put a body on him first, before we start looking at the ball, don't worry about the ball. Like in practice, when you're coaching your squad, you do a lot of like 4-on-4 shell, right? Where you're simulating a lot of stuff, shots going up, and you're working on your rebound and your team rebound and you're boxing out. When this ball goes up, first thing that's got to happen is everyone's got to communicate and let each other know that the shot went up. And as soon as you hear shot, like with my squad, we call it shot, right? So as soon as the ball goes up, someone shoots it, everyone yells shot, right? So everyone's like, oh, snap, because, you might be over here guarding this guy. You don't know what's going on. And you hear shot. So when you hear shot, your automatic reaction shouldn't be like, oh, what? A shot? Where? Let me see if I can get this rebound. It should be like, oh, snap, who's around me? Let me go find a body to box out, right? Keep everybody off the glass, and then someone will come up with that rebound for sure. So we get away from it there. Just a little couple areas of improvement, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at Joshua Primo now. Thank you guys for hanging out. Please smash that like button down below. Chant Go Spurs Go when you do. Joshua Primo, man, he's just been sneakily just showing us something amazing every game, but he also shows us that, there's still some improvement there. So like we did with the other two guys, we're going to look at some of his highlights, some of the areas that I thought stood out. And then we're going to look at some of the areas also that stood out in the way that he needs to just improve on, which is fine, man. All these guys are young and they're going to have areas to improve on. What's great is just that they're getting all this run. What's great is that, Tre Jones had 4 games to play 20 some minutes a game, and Vassell had a couple games, and Joshua Primo had a couple games, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to look. I think last time I did a film room on here, it was against that Minnesota. No, it was against Utah. It was the Utah Summer League. So today we're going to look at some of his performance highs and lows from the Brooklyn matchup, where he put in 22 minutes, went 8 for 22 from the field. That's kind of why I wanted to pick on this game a little bit, was because he had a huge impact on this game. He was just a high volume dude in this Brooklyn game. Now against Minnesota, that first game, he had 8 points, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 rebounds. He was 2 for 5 from the 3, 40%. He was 3 for 11 from the field, right? So went from 27% to 36% in the next game, right? Also shot 11 threes. He shot 11 threes against Brooklyn. Now that was pretty, I was watching the game and I was going over the film and I was just like, wow, you can't even tell that he took 11 threes, because like 4 or 5 of them were just nice, spacing the floor, spot up shots. A couple of them were kind of quick pulls, and then he hit a couple of dirty ones too, right? So yeah, he put up 11 threes, 27%. Yeah, we want it to be a lot higher than that. We want this number to be, maybe 6 for 11 or 5 for 11, right? But still, just the fact that he put the shots up, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. That means he's looking to score, right? Put up 22 shots from the field. 22 shots on the field, 11 threes. The guy had the green light in this game. There was no one that was going to tell him to pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? So he went 2 for 3 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 0 turnovers in this game. That's a big deal for Primo. He had 4 against Minnesota. He had a few in the Utah Summer League as well. So he actually put together a pretty solid stat line: 21 points, 3 assists, 0 turnovers, man. 5 rebounds. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into the film. Thank you guys for hanging out. Go Spurs Go. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. All right. Let me know if you like that new drawing tool that I have, that I'm using on this episode. I'll get better at using it here and there, where I can put the spotlight on and whatnot. All right. Okay, here we go. So we're going to start off here. Now, something that Joshua Primo, man, he's showing him that he has a lot in his bag. And right here, I like the fact that he's catching this ball in motion, right? Came from the corner. sees the drive happen. So he comes up to maybe receive this handoff and just keep moving, right? That's just a good habit that he has already at 18 years old, is moving without the ball. Comes off this screen, now gets right here to his spot. He missed one of these earlier in the game, but he knocks this one down. Now it's this little free throw line, one-handed floater. Man, now that's vintage right there, right? So that's a vintage look from Joshua Primo. Knocks it down smooth. Look at him backpedal too to get back on defense, right? All right, so here's Joshua Primo off the rebound. Now, what we saw in this previous play was Joshua Primo playing off ball, right? If we want to run a play for Joshua Primo to score, we can. He has the ability to catch the ball and go to work, utilize a pick and roll, find his open space somewhere. Right here, sees that there's no one guarding him. He has number 8 behind him, right? So I know I'm kind of going back to this play, but we're going to kind of tie it in with the next play as well. So he comes off the screen looking to score, sees that he has separation between the big man and himself. The Spurs have been, I don't know if that's something every single Spurs working on right now, but I think it is. I think if I were to put money down on it, the coaches are telling him, look, we're going to run all these drills, all these pick and roll drills where the big man sags off, because that's what the NBA is doing now, right? Like all the NBA, like we saw it in the finals, we saw in the playoffs, the big man sinks all the way down to protect the rim. And if you can hit this shot right here, it's going to be open. It's going to be open. So if you can get it off, That's going to be a high percentage shot in the NBA, I think, in the next few years. We saw that the mid-range kind of came back this playoffs. It's not all about the three anymore. But here we go. We had Joshua Primo pushing the ball in transition. Now, this is where I really like Joshua Primo in transition, right? I still think he has a little bit to work on it, finishing, flying up and down the court and finishing at the rim. But when he just kind of surveys the floor, under control, doesn't hand it off here. Like, he's not just looking to get rid of the ball. That's what I love about Primo too. Like, he's patient. He gets the ball. He's not just like, oh, here you go. No, he keeps it. He's like, that's not a good look. He's smart. He has an IQ, right? He's like, no, that's not a good look. So as that happens, number 24 on your screen here is going to sink. Oops. I don't know what happened there. Let's see. All right. So what is up with that spotlight now? It used to be a spotlight. Now it's a red dot. Okay, I don't know. All right, so we're gonna see the big man right here sag off, right? And Joshua Primo automatically sees his fellow draftee Joe Wieskamp wide open, who does a good job of turning, facing, and squaring up. What did I say on the last episode with these two guys? That Joe needs to shoot the ball, man. When Joe can catch the ball, square up, eyes on the rim, he's not even worried about the defender right here. That's a great job. Squares up, straight down, nice shot. That's where he's going to be effective. But, I don't think we're going to see much of Joe Wieskamp this season in a Spurs jersey. It's just not going to happen. We have too many guys. He's going to be in Austin most of the time unless injury and stuff like that happens. But, going back to Joshua Primo, it's just a smart decision. It's just a good decision. He's where were you at 18? This guy's right now at 18 playing against this high-level competition. Doesn't panic right here on that handoff. It's kind of too crowded right here. That could have easily been something bad. It could have turned into a turnover. It could have been a miscommunication on this handoff. They could have bobbled it. A lot of bad things could have happened. But he keeps it. And he squares up and he's like, okay, surveying the floor, sees what's available, and then finds them and then gets rewarded with the assist. It's just a good play, right? Now here he is again, kind of being a little bit smart. First off, this was a bad decision. First off, you don't ever want to crowd the corner. You don't ever want to crowd the corner. Man, I wish I had this spotlight back. I have to figure out what I did with this spotlight. Did I mess it up somehow? Maybe. All right. So anyways, first off, Joshua Primo coming up to the corner is not something you want to do. You never want to congest, if you will, this area of the floor ever. Like, if you're bringing up the ball, number 23 needs to kind of do a better job of coming and utilizing all this open space. That's what my coach would have told me. I was a point guard, man. I was a point guard, and I plenty of times dribbled all the way right here and got into a lot of trouble because the defense is ready to come and trap and use the sideline and the half court line to trap you in, right? So my coach would have been like, you see all this? He would have been all up on my case, man. That's what I'm telling you. That's a real film session, man. Real film session. You're getting ripped on. by the coaches. So Joshua Primo makes kind of a decision by coming up the sideline, but then immediately understands that, hey, this is a bad look. Let me turn around and let me go back the other way, right? So puts the brake on. Luckily, we're not turning it over here, right? Because that's like a trap at midcourt. If they get this trap, they're going the other way and they're scoring the basketball. So what I like here is the decision that Primo makes off this catch, right? So this is a tough spot to be in. He's catching this ball, moving in this direction, and this defender is about to come and step up as soon as he lands, right? So it takes a lot of poise to be able to catch the ball, make a solid dump off pass to the big man, right? So this could have been, shacked in the floor right here. Just a lot of things could have went bad, right, in this play. But he's able to catch the ball and be poised enough just to make a nice and easy dump off pass. It's not a bullet pass. And it's going to lead to a basket here by Robinson. He's going to get his own tip and put it in, right? So that could have been ugly, but shows a little bit of his IQ and his, awareness right now. So here we go. We're going to see Joshua Primo come off, work off the wing here and work to get open, right? So now that he's open, he's going to utilize this screen and roll, attack the big again. We're talking about getting better attacking this pick and roll. And I think that's going to be something that we're going to see improvement on, not just from our young guys, but across the board, right? So this guy, Joshua Primo, comes off this screen to just attack, right? Puts one step on him, sees that he's going to have enough separation, straight up, straight down, nice turn, nice motion, nice touch, man. Guys, who does this look like right there? That looks a lot like Kobe Bryant to me, right? I mean, I'm not saying that he's going to be Kobe, RIP, Kobe Bryant, one of the GOATs. But I see a lot of Kobe and Joshua Primo's offensive skill set. I do. And not just with the ball in his hands, but like his demeanor and the way he moves on the court. It's just, I think we got something with this kid, guys. I think he might, the way he's performing now, the way he's able to hit shots like this, you know what I mean? Like that's a professional NBA move. Coming off the screen and roll, one dribble, crosses the dribble, right? Puts it in his left hand to his right hand, puts a little stutter step on him with his feet, gets his step back on the catch right to his spot, right? We've seen him hit a lot of these free throw line jumpers, so he knows that that's one of his green light spots. And lets it go. I mean, guys, this kid is 18 years old. An 18-year-old would have came off this screen and just, looked to pass to one of these guys and probably turned it over, or maybe just put his head down and try to take this guy to the rim and get blocked or something. Primo hit him with a crossover, step back, mid-range jump shot and hit nothing but the freaking bottom of the net. Are you kidding me? Guys, the touch on his shot is so impressive, right? In this play right here, we're going to see Tre Jones find Primo spacing the floor. So if we see him here on the top of our floor, man, can I fix this spotlight? Let me see. I have no idea what I did to that spotlight. I hate that it's not a spotlight anymore. It's a red light. Okay, anyways, we're going to see him over here in the corner. Now, simple, but it takes a lot of practice and a lot of repetition to get these guys to be in the right spot. You got Joe Weiskamp over here in the corner. That's good spacing. You have Primo over here in the corner who's about to be a beneficiary of good spacing, right? So we're going to go ahead and make this pass right here. Bullet pass to the corner. Hands ready. Now, this is what he did in Alabama a lot, right? So Joshua Primo didn't do a lot of this wow stuff that we're seeing in Alabama, but this is what he did in Alabama. Catch passes like this, turn, look, knock it down, right? Like I said, he took 11 threes. He didn't hit many of them, but that was one of the ones that he hit. And that's wide open, right? So we can see it's a great find. First off, it's a great find by Tre Jones, right? Makes this bullet pass from the top of the key. That's a tough pass. That's a hard pass. On point too. Hits Primo right in the numbers, right where his hands are. Great pass, great form, no hesitation. Lets it fly. All right, so here's one instance of Primo, maybe needing a little bit of seasoning here on his defensive tendencies here. He's going to be guarding the guy that's kind of hanging out over here, right? This guy's going to come set a screen on Primo. Now, the ball is so far out that there's no real reason for Joshua Primo to be guarding this far away from the basket, right? So unless the guy he's guarding is Trae Young or Steph Curry or Luka Doncic, you're not guarding that high up off the floor. And so it's because stuff like this can happen to you. They set this back screen on him way up here, giving his guy a wide open lane to the basket. Now, I think this is Renfro. This player right here is Renfro. He does a good job of picking up the ball. But another area on this same play that I would, talk to Primo about would be, look, if you're going to get caught up on this screen way up here and you're going to make the big man pick up your guy and switch, your initial reaction should be not to go and try to get back to your guy, right? Right now, Primo should not be looking for this guy right here. He should be looking to beat this guy to a spot, the big man's guy, right? Because they just switched, right? So what does switch mean? Go guard the other guy. So if Primo were to have that awareness, get a better box out here, instead gets thrown out of the way and gives up a wide open basket. Now look at Renfro right here talk to Primo, man. Primo knows what's up, right? He's telling him, yo, they call timeout, right? Spurs call timeout, and I'm pretty sure that they're about to talk about that switch in the huddle, right? But look at Renfro. He's gonna go up to Primo right here. I like this. I had to pause it and look at it again because this is good team. This is good teamwork. This is good communication. These guys aren't out here acting a fool and blaming each other and saying like, "Hey, man, I switched. You were supposed to switch. You got to box out my guy. If I'm gonna guard your guy all the way to the rim, you got to fight a little bit harder, right?" We're not getting after each other, and that's something that the Spurs do. They bring in character guys. Now, we always talk about character, and it's not just wearing a suit and tie or wearing, being real, like, just well-spoken. No, it's being a good teammate, man. And like these guys dab it up. They get close to each other. They're going to talk about it. He's probably telling Primo right now, like, yo, cover my guy on the switch. I got you. If you get caught up, I got you, but you have to come get my guy. So a little lesson learned there for Joshua Primo from his teammate Renfro, right? So great stuff. Great character guys, great quality guys. Teaching these young bucks, right? Oh, now this is a great play. This is a great play. Let's take it back to the beginning. Okay. So, oh man, why did this spotlight have to go and desert me? Let me see. Maybe if I quit it, if I bring it back. Let me see. No, it's still red. Oh, all right. Anyways, so we're going to see Joshua Primo start right here. Here he is. Okay. Here's Primo, right? He's going to come up and set this back screen, right? This whole play is run for him. So let's track him from the get-go. He's going to come set this back screen first, right? For the big guy. And then he's going to set a screen, and then he's going to come around and receive the ball, right? So he sets this back screen, right? Makes his defender here have to communicate on that switch. So now that the Brooklyn dudes are now switched and there's a mismatch somewhere, Primo comes around and receives this handoff and has all this separation because of that first screen that he set, right? So if you're a coach out there and you want to run some plays, I suggest run a play like this where you get one of your best scorers to set a screen and then pop out, to go receive the ball. So he comes around this one, puts the ball in the hole. This was right out of the gate in the second half, right? In the beginning of the third quarter. Puts the ball on the floor and finishes this play off, man, pretty spectacularly with this one-handed, keeps the defender away from him. Soft touch. If you can see his wrist, just a nice little, like, here you go, finger roll. Just tosses that thing, just lets it fly out of his hand, man. Doesn't even really push it up. He just lets it fly out of his hand, puts a nice arc on the ball, right? Puts a nice little spin on it. Doesn't throw it up. He tosses it up. His arc, man, his shot is so ahead of his time. He lets that thing go straight up so it can come and go back down in the hoop, right? He didn't throw it at the rim, right? That's where a lot of players do, and they miss and stuff like that, or they throw it too hard off the glass. He tosses that thing up, which is just so hard to do, man. It's another one of those plays where it's just like, holy cow, that is impressive because that is unbelievably hard, right? Starts off in the corner. Let's rewind it. Sets this screen, boom, causes the switch, takes off, does a great job right here getting open too. Sets the screen, doesn't just leave. Look, this little moment right here where he's standing straight up, that's a little hesitation. He's waiting for his defender to get to him. He's like, okay, I got him. But as soon as his defender's like, oh, this is who I got now, takes off, right? Catches him slipping, receives this handoff. Nice, good screen here off the handoff, and puts the ball on the deck, sees all the open space in front of him, and goes to work. And what a nice touch. Oof, again, nothing but the bottom of the net. What a great finish here by Joshua Primo. So, just a lot of wow, man. This guy's showing us a lot of wow. Here's an area of improvement, just some off-ball defense, right? Never losing track of your guy. Here you see Joshua Primo, and he's looking at the ball right now. And as soon as his defender sees that, he takes off, catches him slipping just a little bit, now gives up position, right? So now he's playing from behind. You don't ever really want to be in that spot. Shot goes up, doesn't really battle for position to get back in front there either. Gets bullied a little bit and gives up the offensive rebound. But what I like here is that he doesn't give up. He keeps fighting. Now, that's something that we, meaning all the Spurs players, we all got to have that fight in us, man. Every one of those guys has to have that dog and that fight and those second, third efforts, right? So he knows he messed up. He knows he gave up a backdoor, which led to an offensive rebound, but stays with it. Gets a block right here. Nice touch on the ball. Fights for it here. Now, that big guy here was giving us the business. I think he had double-digit rebounds that night, right? So tries to battle with it. Ends up not being able to come up with it. Not yet, right? Ends up being an and one, actually, right? Ball goes through the hole. Foul called. If we were to just keep track of our guy, not let him cross your body. Now, what should you do there? So it's like, okay, well, what should have Joshua Primo done? If you're saying that that's what caused all this. Well, when you play basketball at a high level, you don't just let people move around the floor wherever they want, right? So as soon as this cutter starts to go, Joshua Primo needs to stop him, needs to bump him, get a little physical, give him a bump, knock him off his path, get in front of him. Don't let him go to where he wants to go. So that's the attitude you got to have, right? So, as he cuts, you don't let him cut backdoor. You body him up. You keep him out. You keep him out of the paint. So, but it's just that happens in a blink of an eye, right? So it's just about getting better positioning on your defense, right? So if I'm telling Joshua Primo here, what should you have done? Well, Joshua Primo should have, instead of being so high up, because let me tell you, this is how you teach defense, guys, right? This is how you teach defense, off ball defense. So here's Primo, right? He needs to be deep enough to look straight. Like if he was looking straight ahead, you got to be able to see through your peripherals. You got to be able to see the ball, and you got to be able to see your guy, right? Okay, so right now, Joshua Primo is so high right here at this spot that he doesn't have a good vantage point to see both the ball and his guy. So what should he have done? What do you teach him to do? Well, this is what I teach my guys, right? When the ball gets put on the floor, as deep as this ball goes, Joshua Primo needs to be sinking in help as well. Because right now, at this point that he's at, he can't see ball and man. But if he was sinking and he was about right here, he would have a better vantage point to see both ball. And if this pass got made out, he'd be able to react. Or if he's going to cut back door, Joshua Primo's in this spot right here. So he's going to be able to see him cut back door and not just let him cut right in front of his face, right? So the answer to solving something like this is just positioning off ball, right? So instead of being here, you sink as deep as the ball, and you have to like backstep. You have to backstep because you got to see both. You got to see both ball and man, right? So if you're so close to him up here, so high, you can't see that much. But if you sink, you can see a whole lot more. And it's just it's a small thing, but it's what makes a defense solid, and it keeps people out of the paint, and everyone's on the same page. It doesn't lead into any dumb baskets that you shouldn't have gave up, right? Sometimes every basket counts. When you're in close games, you're like, dang, could I just got that offensive rebound back, right? All right, so let's keep it going. All right, so here we see Joshua Primo off a high screen and roll, right? Is going to recognize, again, the space that we were talking about earlier. Something that I hope that transfers over, to the NBA as soon as Joshua Primo gets there, is recognizing that the big man, when he's sinking so far away from Joshua Primo, he really only doesn't need to, work too hard. Just get to your spot, rise up, straight down, and knock it down, man. He was butter. The guy's to do that at 18, at that clip, it's impressive, man. Now here he is with the ball in his hand. He's going to get a little bit of pressure here from the defense. What I like, it shows a little bit of his ball handling skills. You know, he says that he was a point guard in high school. I don't know, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he was. He was a point guard in high school, and then when he went to go play in Alabama, he found a different role, spacing the floor, right? But here's a nice little between the legs, little bounce off here to create a little separation, puts the ball in his left hand. He also said he's ambidextrous, I think, right? So he can use both his left and his right hand. He's always doing this little left hand flick pass, I don't really like it. I know some of you guys in the chat were telling me like, well, you know, he got the pass off, or you know, how would he have made a better pass? And I can go into that a lot, but that's a risky pass, you know, in the NBA. But here's another good ball handling scene right here. Comes to a nice dime, stop on a dime between the legs. Kind of loses his handle here for a second, but doesn't turn it over. Sees that the double screen is here waiting for him. He's like, all right, I'll use it. Comes off one, comes off two, creates the switch. He loves the switch, man. I mean, if defenses in the NBA are going to be switching, like everything, we need guards who can make them pay, right? And right here, oh my gosh, check this shot out. Sounded like I cussed, right? Check this shot out. He comes, attacks the lane, comes to a nice stop here, kind of loses the ball. Look at him, almost falling down off one leg, fading backwards. Look at that. I was just telling you guys earlier, don't do that. Go straight up, straight down, right? That's what I was saying. When you go forward, you're probably going to miss. When you go backwards, you're probably going to miss. But man, Joshua Primo shows up, tells me to, coach, you need to watch your mouth, coach, because I got this. Let me fade back, pretty much laying down in midair, puts the nice touch on it. Again, his shot always has the perfect arc. He's never shooting at the rim, right? So like, let me rewind this. This is amazing. This is a tough shot, man. So again, he's not shooting at the rim where, you know, that lowers your chances of putting it in the hole. When he fades back, he puts a nice little touch on it, man, like a real late high release with his fingers. And that ball just has a beautiful arc on it, man. And that's why all of his shots that are so impressive are just hitting the bottom of the net. And like, it's not even coming close. Like that ball goes in the hole, man. So, you know, amazing strength, agility, balance, touch, everything. Just ball just goes in, man. That is one of the hardest shots, man, you can ask for. Look at this coach right here on the bench, man. He's like, dang, man, what else can we do? All these coaches are like, what? Look at this guy right here. He's like, I can't believe it, man. Even their coaching staff over here was like, oh my God. Yeah, because Joshua Primo brings the amazing. He brings the wow, right? All right, so here he is again in the corner, catching and shooting. This shot kind of gets away from him. Good contest here by the defender, but he stays in it. Look at him right now. As soon as that shot goes off, he knows that it's off. He doesn't just sit there and watch the ball. He starts going after it, gets back in the play, and is able to get his own rebound, right? Comes out, doesn't look to pass it, man. And guys, we have an 18-year-old kid who knows he's that good. And, you know, the coaches, I think, are giving him all the confidence in the world to be a scorer right now, man. And they're telling him like, yo, you got the green light. Don't pass the ball. Don't pass the ball. Right. Like, so he comes, scores mentality, puts the move back on him, steps back, says, okay, I'll use this right here. Gets his nice screen and roll, sets up his defender with one move. Notices the ball pressure, right? Whenever you're being ball pressured up here high up on the court, you know, it's very smart for you to get one move off to set your guy up, because he's gonna bite, right? He's gonna bite for whatever you get him. When that guy's all up on there and he's like D'ing you up at half court, just give him a jab step, give him one move, one in and out, and you're gonna create some separation, right? So he gets him right here on that move, uses this screen, sees the defense. Sees the defense just sagging, saying, I'm not going to come up there, and pulls it right in his grill. Right in his grill. Might have even been an N1. Cash money. Right? That's an impressive shot, man. So let's look at it. Let's catch the ball, man. Let's see at his release point. Here's the release point. Let's watch that ball in slow motion. Perfect arc on it. That's a sniper right there, guys. That's a sniper. All right. So those were some of my highlights from Summer League in Las Vegas from our young guys, right? Our rookie Joshua Primo and our second-year players in Devin Vassell and Trey Jones. Man, that was a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this stream, man. Hopefully we'll be doing some more along the way. Hope everyone in the chat room is doing good. Everybody in the chat, or if you're watching post live, go Spurs go. Tune in Sunday. We're gonna do a Q&A around 3 or 4 o'clock. So I'll take your questions, take your comments. Appreciate the tips and the Patreon love. Thank you guys. We're growing over here in a rapid pace, right? Picked up almost 400 subscribers in the past month. Amazing. Just amazing. So thank you guys. Shout out to Spurs Nation, man. Shout out to Spurs Nation. All right, guys. So, ultimately, I'm going to do a little recap here on, before I close it out, on just kind of my overall takes from the Summer League. You know what? This Summer League was a learning tool. It was a learning tool. It was an experimental tool. It was not about winning games, right? How many of you guys felt bad for losing these games? I didn't care at all that we lost all these games. Like, we could have lost every game. I don't care. I saw so much positive growth from Devin Vassell, from Trey Jones, is showing that he's ready to compete. Trey Jones is ready to compete. So that's great, right? So we're seeing what Trey Jones can do when the ball is in his hands. We're seeing what Devin Vassell can do off ball and his scoring ability, and that he can hit that mid-range jumper. He can work pick and rolls. Yes, he can still shoot threes. That's fine, but he has a lot more in his bag. I think last year was a little glimpse, a little foreshadowing of that. But Devin Vassell is, to me, like a young Ray Allen. I don't know if you guys remember Seattle Supersonics Ray Allen or Milwaukee Bucks Ray Allen, but Devin Vassell has a lot of that in him, man. He can get his shot off from pretty much about anywhere. And so it's just about how we use him and how we utilize his scoring ability next season, because his defense, and Devin Vassell's defense, has been top notch since the get-go, right? So, Joshua Primo, finishing with him, he is going to be a cliche. I'm sorry, Joshua Primo, you're going to be a cliche. You're going to be a cliche on how good you are and how the Spurs did it again, and how they found probably the best player in the draft. They found him at 12, and they developed him over 2-3 years, and now he's taking over the league. And he's like, Joshua Primo is going to be that guy. I feel really comfortable saying that, man. I said, when we drafted Kawhi, I knew then too. I knew as soon as we drafted this kid what he was going to bring to the table. His first year with the team, I saw shades of Kobe, shades of Jordan in Kawhi's game. His first year, right, when we weren't even really letting him do that yet. But he showed glimpses of it, and then the Spurs developed it over the years, and then we built around that, right? So that's what we're gonna do, I think, with Joshua Primo, man. He's that good, guys. He's 18 years old, and he's that good. I understand. I think all Spurs Nation is behind Primo right now. So he's again just showing us amazing. He's showing us that he still has a lot to grow. Defense is going to take some time, but the thing about the summer league for rookies, defense isn't easy. And if I was going to be honest with you, I was impressed with his defense. He had a couple errors here and there, but overall, Joshua Primo was here for it and was not bad. He was not bad on either side of the floor. Joe Wieskamp is going to need more work, I think, than I initially thought. I think he's going to take some adjusting, but that's fine. He can have a year or two in Austin to get a feel for the league and how he's going to get his shot off. Because once he figures out how to get his shot off, Joe Wieskamp is going to be hopefully a good player for us for a while. Yeah, so I mean, those are just kind of my takes. It was good to see these guys play. I can't wait to get training camp open and all that stuff. So we can see them mix all their skills and everything with the main group, right? Because that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to try to contribute to the main group with their development, right? So do we see Trey Jones a little bit more? I hope so. I don't want to see Trey Jones in the G League. I don't. I think he can battle for minutes. If he gets minutes, that's up to him and how it goes in training camp and in practice. But he showed a lot of growth. Devin Vassell, I hope, gets at least like 12 shots a game straight up. I hope he gets about 12 to 15 shots a game. And Joshua Primo, I don't want to say doesn't need Austin, because he does. He needs Austin. He needs the reps. You can tell now that he needs reps. But is he good enough to play in the league? I think so. I think he's good enough. I think he showed us that we can't count him out because of his age or because of whatever. I mean, he's huge, man. He's like a 6'6" dude. He's bigger than most guys out there. He looks young, like I said. He has a baby face, but man, that's a prototypical two guard in the modern NBA, and he's showing that he has the touch, the confidence, the swagger, the poise. He doesn't get too high or too low. We're seeing him hit tough shots and just walk away like if that's what he does, like if he does that all the time, right? We're not seeing him get too pumped and whatever. And when he messes up on defense, he takes his licks, right? So Joshua Primo has the mindset already of a pro. He has the mindset of a pro at 18 years old, and he has the shooting touch of a pro already at 18 years old. His body is not too far off from that either. But just because he is a rookie, the Spurs are going to set him on a plan to develop his weaknesses, whatever those are, whatever the staff evaluates him and evaluates his weaknesses that need improvement to be this year. So it's a process. It's not going to happen over 1 year, but I would like to see Joshua Primo get some reps for the Spurs this year. And I would think he does. I wouldn't put it past the Spurs to let him play here and there. A little less than Devin Vassell did his rookie year, because Devin Vassell didn't play in Austin because there was really no Austin to send him to, right? This year, I don't know. I assume that there is going to be a G League season, so there will be opportunity for Primo to get some tick there. But is he good enough? I think Devin Vassell made it known in that preseason game that he's good, that he's ready to compete. He's ready to play, right? Not to start or not to take anyone's minutes, but hey, he throw him in the mix. And I think Joshua Primo is that good too. Right. I think he's that good also. So thank you guys for hanging out, man. It was a great summer league experience. Shout out to the coaching staff over there in Vegas for holding it down and doing a great job as far as I'm concerned. I'm not worried about the wins or the losses. The coaching staff did an amazing job of getting these guys in positions to be successful and to grow and to give these no-name guys opportunity to play. It was fun seeing the squad out there, right? So go Spurs, go guys. I hope you're having a great day. Last thing before I do go is to go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed to it yet. Hit that like button, smash Go Spurs Go when you do. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when we go live or when we drop new content. Leave a comment. It can be as simple as GSG. That's Go Spurs Go. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Thank you guys so much in the chat for hanging out with me as I go live. Again, if you want to talk and get your question on screen, hang out with us on Sunday. All right. Thank you for subscribing, Diana Baskin. Thank you to my new subscribers here. Thank you, Sean Kelly, for the tip. Thank you for everybody for hanging out. Cody Castillo, It Kills, Fat Boy. What's going on, everybody? Bryant Strickland, first one in the house to drop a comment. See you, sir. Aaron L, what's going on? Nicholas Bennett. Thank you, everyone. Spike Rashi. Hope I didn't miss anyone. Josue S, right? So thank you guys for hanging out. Go Spurs Go. It Div Op. I don't know what that is. It Devo P. I don't know. So Go Spurs Go though. Shout out to the chat for hanging out, man. Thank you guys for supporting the show. All right. Go Spurs Go should be back here on Thursday. Just a few announcements before I go. Thank you guys for 2K subs. I think we're at 2,100 right now, man. It's been amazing. So thank you for subscribing. Just a reminder that the show times are Tuesdays and Thursdays now at 8:30 p.m. Sundays will be the Spurs Q&A with the chat room. So if you want to chat and get your question on screen, go ahead and hang out with us on Thursday. And just to let you guys know that Order on the Court, the channel where we do Spurs post-game reactions to all season long and watch parties, we do it on Order on the Court. That channel is going to be rebranded and relaunched on August 26th. Big announcements coming. It's going to be so much fun. So make sure to subscribe to that channel as well. And stay tuned for more news on that. All right. So go Spurs Nation. Hope you're having an awesome day. Hope you're staying healthy. I know a lot of things are still going on in the world with, COVID and just everything, right? So I just hope you're having a great day, and hopefully I can distract you a little bit and talk Spurs with you guys. And I hope you enjoyed the film session. Again, this is my film session. We go over defense and mistakes in this film session. It's not a highlight reel, right? Don't log on to this video and think, oh, I'm just going to go see highlights of the Spurs. No, there's other videos for that. You want to get deep analysis. You want to get my take from a coaching point of view, an experienced coaching point of view. Again, coached at the high school level for 5 years, been to 1,000 different camps, heard some of the greatest speakers out there, man, from the pro level, college level, high school level. I love this game, right? Go Spurs, go. It's a beautiful game. I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm out.
Hey, isn't we supposed to be having a fiesta?
Watch this.
What's going on, Spurs Nation? Hope you're having a wonderful evening this Monday night. So the Spurs just played against the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Summer League. They fell a little bit short. It was an exciting game, but we're going to go ahead and talk about a separate game tonight. So let me go ahead and pull this up for you guys. So thank you for stopping by. First off, this is Spurs Film Room session with me, Coach Rob Trejo Jr. A little bit about myself. I'm a Texas high school varsity assistant for about 5 years. Kinesiology major at UTSA 2014, right? So right now, like I just said, if you guys were watching on ESPNU, the Spurs fell 89-91 against Minnesota. Just a real quick recap of that game. Devin Vassell with 23 points. He was 6 for 16, led the way with 29 minutes, 3 for 6 from the three-point line at 50%, 8 for 8 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, had a couple turnovers along the way. Also, Tre Jones, first game back for Tre Jones, 26 minutes, 6 for 14 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3. Had 8 assists, man. He was just dropping dimes in the pick and roll, finding open guys, finished with 16 points as well. And then you also had Joshua Primo was like the third guy in minutes at 26. Not, a spectacular night for Joshua Primo, but I think from game to game, he's showing a lot of his strengths and a lot of his weaknesses, right? So very exciting time to be a Spurs fan here. So I want to let you guys know that I'll probably be doing another film room on Wednesday. I'm not sure yet, but I'll be covering some of this game for sure. It was a very exciting game. I don't know if you guys got to watch it. It went down to the wire. But today's episode, Spurs Nation, if you're with me, please smash that like button down below. Chant Go Spurs Go when you do. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. Check out the Patreon link in the description below. All right, so this episode is going to be about Devin Vassell and Joshua Primo's performances against the Grizzlies. It was the last game of the Utah Summer League. They just started the Las Vegas Summer League tonight, right? So in this game, the Spurs, I don't think the Spurs have won a Summer League game yet. 77-82, they fell, but Devin Vassell had 30 minutes, 27 points, 8 rebounds. Joshua Primo had 17 points, had a great game. So we're going to really dive into this game here and look at these two guys right here. And that's Devin Vassell and Joshua Primo. But big shout out to the other guys on their roster, man. Daquan Jeffries, he's just playing his tail off, man. Tonight, he played his tail off tonight. There's a lot of guys out there just putting in that work, right? So shout out to the whole squad, all right? So that's what today's show is going to be about. So again, if you're with me here, shout out to you guys. Thank you for hanging out for sure. Chant Go Spurs Go. Smash that like button down below. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when we go live and when we drop new content. Share this video with the rest of Spurs Nation. Again, if you want to go above and beyond, check out the Patreon link in the description below. All right, guys, let's get into the film room. Go Spurs Go.
2, 1, 0, and lift off.
Hey, isn't we supposed to be having a fiesta?
Watch this.
Isn't we supposed to be having a fiesta?
All right, Spurs Nation. Again, hope you're having a wonderful day. Go Spurs, go. So we're going to start off this film room. Again, welcome to the film room, Spurs Film Room Live. I'm Coach Rob Trejo Jr. We're going to look at Devin Vassell's play in this game. Didn't show a lot, Devin Vassell did. I think this film room will dive more into Joshua Primo's performance in this game against the Memphis Grizzlies. But tonight Devin Vassell had one heck of a game tonight. So we'll go over Devin Vassell a little bit more later. But let's start off with talking about Devin right off the bat. Here we have him in a off-ball action, starting off here on the wing. Right, they're looking to get Devin the ball in a lot of different scenarios. I like the handoff action here, and he's going to go ahead and use the pick and roll. Early on in the game, what he was doing magnificently was just keeping the defender on his back when they would go over the pick and roll. Right, so if we rewind this just a little bit. Devin Vassell coming off the top of this screen notices that the defender is going to go over. First thing he does is get right back in front of the guy, right? So right here, cuts him off, keeps him on his back, sees that the big man is sinking into the paint, right? Because that's kind of how big men guard nowadays, right? They kind of just sink into the paint, protect the rim. They're not really going to play up on the guards anymore. I don't know why. That's just the way it is in the NBA these days. So Devin Vassell sees it right here, pulls up, nice read, right? So Devin Vassell is getting, like I said, the ball in a lot of different spots. That's one that he's been really successful at, coming off the wing, attacking the middle of the floor into the paint, right? So here he is again off the high pick and roll. Again, defender's going over. Devin Vassell is going to make sure he doesn't get back in front, makes this a one-on-one game between him and the big man, and again is able to rise up here. Now, this is just a lot of poise out of Devin Vassell, second-year guard out of Florida State. I mean, he's just able to just make the right reads going to the basket. Sure, he has mistakes, and we're going to look at some of his errors as well. But something that I find very interesting, and you guys let me know if you're with me on this, about this summer league, I was very interested in seeing Joshua Primo, and I think rightfully so, right? We should all be interested to see how this number 12 pick plays out, right? But it's interesting, really, how I think the main storyline for the Spurs in this Las Vegas Summer League is to see how Devin Vassell does with a high volume. Because I think we all see it in flashes, right? We all see it that Devin Vassell can do a lot of things. He can attack the rim. He has a nice mid-range jumper. He knows how to get his shot off, like we're seeing here. And we know he can shoot the three. But how is he going to be effective when the volume is supersized for him, like it is here in the G League? I mean, in the Summer League, right? So what type of player is he? Is he more of a mid-range first guy, or is he just it seems to me like he's trying to get his shot off first, and he's trying to work and create to do that and find any angle to get his shot off first. So, and then kind of hit the 3 second, and then he's making it happen on the offensive end. We're going to get to it. All right, back to the film room. Here we got Devin Vassell. Anyway, so that's one of my main storylines, right? I feel like going into this thing is how Devin Vassell plays with all this volume that he's going to get, all these minutes. Here he is going off. He had a couple of problems here. I know you can kind of barely see it on the top left-hand side of your screen, but there was a couple times where he went for this mismatch on the big, and it cost him a little bit, right? So here he is getting back on D. That turnover cost them a bucket, right? So he's a little bit indecisive, and that's kind of what I'm saying is, like, how is Devin Vassell going to play with all this volume? And really he needs the opportunity to do it. I don't think he's ever had the opportunity to do it in his whole basketball career, to be fair, right? Devin Vassell's never been the guy on any of his teams. So this summer league might be the first time where he's really getting the opportunity to handle the ball a lot. I know this film room's a little bit tight. All right, but here he is attacking the big again off the dribble, gets all the way to the rim and gets the shot to fall. So this is where he does make a good read off the switch. He catches the big, gets all the way to the rim. Nice finish here by Devin Vassell. All right, so here he is again on ball. Jeez, come on, Rob. Cut this film room a little bit smaller. You can't even see the whole play. Okay, here we go. So here we go. Devin Vassell's going to be coming off the top of your screen. Here we go. This is a good one. All right, so Devin Vassell starting up here in the corner, right? They're going to this is an inbound play. So first off, they're going to set this down screen for Primo to get open first, right? And then as soon as the ball gets inbounded, this is what's key in executing out of bounds plays is timing, right? Timing is huge. So as soon as you get this ball in, like I'm not sure who this guy is over here. I keep forgetting his name. But he has to wait to set the screen for Vassell until Primo has the ball, right? So this is excellent patience, good execution off the sideline, right? So you've got to teach this over and over in practice. First, we set the down screen for Primo. Once the ball is inbounded, Now you can see the action on the other side of the floor happening, right? So he's going to go set that away screen to bring Vassell. Now Vassell has to do himself a favor here and work to get open, right? So they're denying the crap out of him. I mean, it's not like Memphis doesn't know what's happening here, right? So they're running this play for Devin Vassell off the top of the screen, right? He's going to come off this screen tight. Now, Devin Vassell isn't a guy who likes to float around the 3-point line. He likes to come off screens and curl them. And what we call a curl is when they come off tight, and like Devin Vassell could have came easily higher up on the screen, right? But since the guy is going over, he's going to keep that advantage that we were talking about earlier about keeping guys on his back, right? So he's going to come off and he's going to go ahead and come off tight off this screen and actually keep attacking the lane, which he does here. So you catch him on the way to the rim. Primo needs to go ahead and do a good job and put a pass on point. Not really on point here. So if you're Primo, you need to do a better job. This is kind of like I don't know if you guys can see it, right? So it's like a one-handed bullet pass to Devin Vassell. He's got to clean that up, right? So like Primo has a lot of wow. Primo has a lot of wow, but then he also has like a lot of small tendencies that are just like really rookie, and you just kind of see them as a lot of rookie mistakes that he's making out there. This is kind of a wild pass. Now, if you want to really execute the crap out of this play, you need to be hitting this pass on Devin Vassell's target's hands so he can catch the ball right here, center of gravity, put it on the floor, and then keep going with his momentum off this screen, right? So he's coming off this screen tight. You don't want him to have to go back to get the pass, in other words. It's just kind of slowing down the whole action. But he gets it anyway, gets to a spot, and knocks it down. What a great execution, right? That's a great out-of-bounds play by the Spurs. Here we got Devin Vassell coming in transition, looking to get to work right now. He passes it out to Joe Weiskamp, who gives it back to him. Now he's going to go ahead and size up his defender. Let me bring him back into screen. Here he is. All right, so he's attacking the paint, gets to a spot. Man, it almost feels a little DeMar DeRozan like, right? Devin Vassell's game isn't so black and white. I think that's kind of what the question mark is with Devin right now, is that what is he? Because he can go in any direction, right? And I think what the Spurs see in him is that, hey, he's a guy that can score, and it's not necessarily shoot, because we all we know he can shoot as well, but he's not going to be Doug McDermott, right? Doug McDermott is going to be running his tail off to find shots, right, at the 3-point line. Devin Vassell just needs the ball in his hands, getting to some of the spots where he's most comfortable to get a bucket off, and he seems to be very comfortable in the mid-range. All right, so here we got Devin Vassell again starting here in the corner. Man, whoever this number 46 guy was, man, I forget his name. I'll remember. It's McDermott, right? If I'm not mistaken. This guy over here, McDermott, he had a heck of a game, man. So for the Jazz. Anyways, here comes Devin Vassell off the screen, comes off loose. He's going to work this screen and roll here, catches the switch that he's been looking for, attacks the big, stays at it. I think he misses this one here, doesn't get it to go. But it's a nice attempt. That there was a lot of Devin Vassell working mismatches in this game, and sometimes he was successful, and sometimes he wasn't. To be fair, there was a lot of times where you can tell he knows what to do. He knows like option A and B. He's just not really quick enough yet on the draw to make the right decision all the time. But I mean, dude, it's there. It's there. He just needs reps, and that's what's so exciting about Devin Vassell this year in the summer league, is that he's finally going to get reps. Here he is again on the mismatch, decides to go ahead and step into his pull-up three, lets it fly, lets it go. He did not shoot well from the 3-point line in this game. I want to say this might be his only make. We can go and look at it in the box score that we saw earlier, but he knocks this one down, and shooters just got to keep shooting. He might have been like 0 for 4 at this point. And this was late in the game. Finally gets it off. It was a big shot. It was a big shot too. But this is a play that we've seen Devin Vassell make maybe once a game. I want to say, I'm not quite sure if he was able to put together a putback dunk off a missed shot tonight against Minnesota, but in the Utah Summer League, I think we saw him do it quite a bit, right? So here's another one, right? Shot coming from the corner. No one has a box out on Devin Vassell, and he's not just standing out there. And neither is Primo here for that matter. But Devin Vassell has been able to just get into the paint off a missed shot when no one's boxing him out, and he's not just standing there. He's going after it. And more often than not, if he's going to go up there uncontested, dude, the wingspan on Devin Vassell, I mean, is huge. So he can snatch up all types of rebounds and putbacks and stuff like this. So good work here from Devin Vassell. All right, guys. So right now, when we come back, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Joshua Primo and how he performed here in this game as well when we come right back.
Hey, isn't we supposed to be having a fiesta?
Watch this.
Spurs Nation, thank you for hanging out. I just want to let you guys know that I really appreciate the growth on YouTube. If you're subscribing, if you're new to the show, or if you've been here since day one, thank you and welcome to Spurs Film Room. Doing some Spurs content, trying to cover the Spurs and make the best content I can for you guys out here on YouTube. So when you subscribe, thank you so much, man. It's incredible. I think we might hit 2,000 subscribers here maybe in the next day or two. It's just been crazy, growing like 30, 40 subscribers a day for the past week or two. So it's just been amazing, man. Go Spurs go. Hit that like button, chant Go Spurs go when you do that. Hit the notification bell. That's huge. When you subscribe, there's a part 2 to the next step, next action. That's hit that notification bell so you get notified when we go live. Make sure that you leave a comment, man. The comments that you guys leave, agreeing with me, disagreeing with me, either way, it's awesome, man. I can't get enough of it. I like going through the comments, reading what you guys got. I like and try to like most of them. So thank you guys for commenting, and also share this video with the rest of Spurs Nation if you can. If you want to go above and beyond with this show and help me grow this show, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. You can support this show, and maybe it can go from 2 a days to 3 a days, or 4 days a week, in the future. So just as long as we keep growing, possibilities are endless for this channel. And got a lot of announcements coming up this month for the other channel that I have, and that's Order on the Court. Right, those of you, I don't know you guys that subscribe to that one too, but that's where we do post-game reactions, right? So if you guys want to follow a channel that's like strictly post-game reactions and like watch parties with a bunch of other Spurs collaborators, right? Order on the Court is the channel. It's actually going to be rebranded, so I'm kind of hesitant to keep calling it Order on the Court. Those of y'all that follow Order on the Court, it's been under construction for about a month, 2 months now. And I've putting in a lot of work, and very exciting stuff is happening over there. So I can't wait to tell you guys at the end of this month. So I'll be talking about that a little bit more in the future. But right now, guys, thank you guys for watching. Let's get back to the film room.
Hey, isn't we supposed to be having a fiesta?
Watch this.
All right, so that was kind of like Devin Vassell's highlights from the game, right? Devin Vassell in this on this night went 11 for 30, right? Put up 30 shots. I bet you Devin Vassell hasn't put up 30 shots in his career, right? But he went 11 for 30, 1 for 10 from the three-point line. I told you he had a terrible shooting night. That 1 3 that you saw was really the only 3 that he hit. He had a lot of contested and uncontested looks in this game, right? So, I think Vassell's learning how to handle volume, I think, is the biggest thing here in this summer league. He went 4 for 4 from the free throw line, finished with 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 27 points. Still had a great stat night. But, we didn't come up with the W. So right now we're going to take a look at Joshua Primo, right? So Joshua Primo had 30 minutes on the night, went 7 for 17. So we're going to see a lot of these makes right here, a lot of this. And we're going to see some of, I think an area that he kind of struggled with. He had a couple turnovers. We're going to look at some of those instances as well. We're going to kind of look at Joshua Primo's night as a whole right now. All right, guys, so let's get right to it. Let me go ahead and bring it up. Oh, I still have my thumbnail on. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and bring up the film room. All right, here we go. So right here, we're going to have Joshua Primo on ball. And there's something that we've been seeing in the Summer League so far is a good sample size of Primo handling the ball and Primo coming off the ball actions, right? So where he starts the play with the ball in his hands, he's either the play is sometimes set for him, and sometimes it's set to set up like Vassell or someone else. We're seeing a lot of experimentation with Primo, and man, he's just, this is really the first time I've been able to talk about him on my show, like dissecting film. Oh my gosh, dude, this guy is blowing me away game to game, and it's more about like his poise and his demeanor and his attitude on the court and the confidence he has. And yeah, he looks young, right? He has like a baby face, but I mean, dude is 6'6". He's out there. He looks just as big as everybody. He does not look small on the floor. He looks young on the floor, but does not look small. And he's been able to do some amazing things. So here he is with the ball in his hands. This play was set up for Devin Vassell coming off this double screen up top. So he's going to look to catch Devin Vassell. That's a good pass to make. That's a tough pass to make. And it was a good pass here. The play is set up for Devin Vassell to catch this ball and rip towards the baseline and use the momentum that he has already. And the defender, the hard thing about this play, we run it in the high school too. We call it twist, where I'm from. He's coming up and making the defender chase over, which is putting the defender in a terrible spot, right? So he's going to catch. He's going to rip baseline and go to work. immediately puts him on his back. Shot goes up, no good. But that's one instance of Primo executing the play, right? Which is something that we're seeing a lot of. And the question isn't, is he a point guard? I think the question is, how often is he going to be in a like he's kind of like a combo guard right now. I think he can play the point. I know he talked about in high school he used to be a point guard, and in college he was more of a shooter. He had a shooting role. And summer league we're seeing it all come together, right? So it's kind of hard to put like a point on Joshua Primo to exactly what he is, because he has like a Kobe upside. There's something Kobe about him. I don't know what it is, and it's not his shot creation. It's not his shot creation. It's his demeanor and it's his attitude. I'm telling you. But there's also, he's just young. We got to see. He's got to prove it. So here he is on ball. Gonna show a little bit of defense here. Does a good job sticking with this guy. Another good job communicating on this switch. Immediately on the switch, gets in front of the big dude, right? This is supposed to be a mismatch right here for Primo, but does a good job. I mean, like, there's no hesitation here. As soon as this screen happens and the Spurs are switching everything, he immediately fronts the post, right? So he immediately stops this post entry from happening on the wing, right? So that's just good D. And from there, he sees that the shooter is wide open, right? And so this other guy, God, I forget his name, but he had an error, right? There was, I guess, a lack of communication here, if you want to be real with it, because number 17 should have known exactly what to do, should have stayed with the guard, didn't see that he did, so there was no communication. But Primo was able to chase out to the shooter, right, and actually get a hand on the ball, actually deflected this shot, right? So check this out. I don't know if that was a pass. I think it was a pass. I think it was a pass to homeboy here in the post. Now, this is the reason why this defensive play is broken. Lack of communication, right? So anyways, still long and athletic enough to deflect the pass. I just thought that was pretty interesting. All right, let's go ahead and keep watching some more defense here with Primo guarding on ball. I just like to see how he moves on the floor. I like to see his defensive tendencies, while he's going from on ball to off ball. That's a good key to see how good of a smart a defender is when they're on ball, right, guarding ball, and then the guy makes a pass. What does this guy do? Does he fall asleep? Does he stay with his guy? Does he sink in to help? Is he chasing? What is he doing? Does he know where the ball and man is? Right. So right here, Primo does a good job of staying with his guy. But what I like here is that as soon as he got down the lane, he didn't chase. Is that Desmond Bane? Desmond Bane versus Joshua Primo was a fun matchup during this game. But what I like is that Primo doesn't chase him out to the corner. I'm pretty sure this is a drill, right? When your guy cuts through, first off, he's denying this pass, right? Making sure that there's no over-the-top pass coming or no bounce pass coming here. So sticks his hand in it, does a good job. Gets to this spot right here and opens up. This is very smart. This is hard to – this is like drill and kill. It takes a long time to learn this and to teach this and to coach this. But when you get to the midline of the floor, not to just follow your guy and turn your back to the play, right? And we see some guys do that on the professional level. Joshua Primo opens up right away, realizes that his help is needed because it's all about helping, right? I mean, you got to know where your guy is, yes, but you got to know where the ball is, what's happening on the floor, so you can make a play on the defensive side of the ball too. I mean, that's what Keldon does all the time. Keldon Johnson, half the time is more worried about just what's going on, and then sometimes he's worried about his guy. Doesn't always worry about his guy because he knows how to affect the game in multiple ways. So anyways, it's just a good show of help here. Causes a turnover. It's just good defense from Primo. All right, so let's take a look at this play here. We're going to have him coming off this action here. It looks like it's going to be a play set up for Devin Vassell, but actually it becomes a double screen, right, for Primo. This action's the first one, sets it up, gets that action right there. See, number 17, I don't know what he keeps forgetting a lot of things, number 17. So, geez, I don't know what his name is. I don't want to harp on him too bad, but he's not where he's supposed to be on this play. Like, you can tell he's like, oh, crap, I'm supposed to set this second screen, right? So, ineffective screen, right? Ineffective screen, broken play. But Primo's going to go ahead and use it anyway. So, he's going to go ahead and get this handoff back from Devin Vassell. This is a great action, man. So, like, if you're a coach and if you're at the high school level, maybe this is a little too complicated for the middle school level, but, wherever, if you're at the high school level or above, this is an action maybe you want to put on the floor for your team. There's a lot of ball movement and a lot of player movement, and it forces the defense to have to communicate a lot. I just like this play, right? So, first off, there's this off-ball screen that this big and this guy have to communicate, right? But that's not even really what the play is set up for, right? That's just like the first attack, right? Like it's just the first attack on the defense. The second one comes from this automatic catch and handoff, right? So now he's making this guy that was just in an action have to communicate again with Desmond Bain over here on the wing, right? Desmond Bain, who's built like a truck, by the way. So, anyways, handoff makes them, Desmond Bain's all over it. He's like, I'm through, I'm clear, but immediately has to come into a screen and roll, right? So if you can set that up for your team, that's a nice and easy play. You'll get, you can run this over and over. You'll get something. You just teach how to get different looks out of it, right? Off ball screen, pass, handoff, screen and roll. Like I said earlier, ineffective screen. Everybody has to be where they're supposed to be. The big man here, for instance, is not ready to set the screen right here. At this point, Desmond Bain should have been being laid out by a screen. Has more, is not there on time, so he has more room to operate and get over. But Primo's a little bit smarter, reacts, sees that he's cheating the play, that Desmond Bain is cheating the play a little bit, comes back around and shows a little flash of, oh my Lord. So he goes here, steps through, and hits that mid-range jumper so pure. That mid-range jumper from Joshua Primo, he's hitting that in ways that you only see elite guys hit that shot. First off, he's making right reads at the free throw line. That's probably where he's going to be most effective. I mean, I know what you are thinking, oh, great, another guy who can shoot at the free throw line. We had 100 of those over the past few years. And right now, that's really just DeJounte, maybe Lonnie, Derek White. I'm not too sure he's looking to get that one all the time. I think he's more looking to space the floor and do some other things, get to the rim. So, I mean, Joshua Primo, though, I mean, he's showing this as an 18-year-old kid, man. He's 18 going against some like Desmond Bain, who's built like a linebacker in the NFL. And dude, he stood his ground, dude. Primo did not back down in any instance in any of these games, which is showing a lot of poise, is what I like about Primo right now. He's showing a lot of poise. Nice, smooth shot, great mechanics. If you can see that as soon as he sees that big sinking a little bit, gets right into his shot, straight up, straight down, nice release, holds the follow through, nice rotation on the ball, and just drops right in the hole, right? So it's just like, dang, Primo can work it like that. All right. So he hadn't really had a breakout game yet so far in this summer league. It took him a few games to get adjusted, and this is really the game where he kind of let it out. So here he is back on defense, chasing over some screens, getting a little bit lost. Right. So those are some of the rookie things you're gonna have to live with, right? So I don't think he really did anything wrong. He just wasn't quick enough, wasn't strong enough to really get the reads going. So it goes over the screen, but there's a bunch of lack of communication happening here with our big man. So anyways, gets out there anyway, contested three, turns into a missed shot. We can take it. All right. So here's an action with him with the ball in his hand. We're going to go ahead and do the exact same play that we were just talking about, right? Except without the handoff. This is the same play that we just saw, except without the pass and the handoff back from Devin Vassell. So there's that off-ball screen for Devin Vassell to become the first screener in this action, right? So now number 17 isn't going to mess up, right? He's going to do it right the second time. He's ready there to take the screen. Here comes Joshua Primo off this double screen here. Sees again, just the sinking big guy, makes a very veteran-like read and lets it fly again. Jump shot, pure. He's able to get square, to get under control, great balance. He's never in a rush. And I think that's something that's very ahead of his time for Joshua Primo, is that he's never in a rush to get where he's going when he has the ball in his hands, right? He's very patient, knows how to dribble and play with his head up, seeing and reading the defense, right? Now that's, dude, for him to do that at 18 in the NBA and against, like kind of G League competition. But this is Tillman, right? This is Tillman from Memphis. I mean, he played for Memphis last season. He's a good big man, right? Him and Desmond Bain are kind of like the two guys on the squad right here from Memphis. But he sees the sinking hell. I mean, hand down, man down. Look at that form again. Straight up, straight down. He's not fading really. He's fading it forward a little bit, but nice touch. Look at that follow through. I think that's something as well, man. That follow through is pretty dang consistent, and it lets that mid-range floater, that mid-range jump shot really just, it doesn't even hit the rim, and that thing just sinks right through the net. Kuh. I like to make that sound. Kuh. It's one of my favorite sounds. If you're a hooper, you know that kuh. Sorry if that's loud on the mic, but that's my swish sound. Anyways, so here he is on defense again. Got a little bit ahead of the play. I can't see it here, but he jumps the screen, gets caught behind, and gives up a wide open lane to the basket. And that's just kind of some of the rookie tendencies that you see right now out of Primo, he makes a lot of mistakes out there. That's what I'm saying. He's showing us a lot of wow. Like, oh my gosh, he can do that. Oh, he can do that at 18. Like, oh geez, like wow, this guy really is, really, really beautiful out there right now for Joshua Primo to be a part of this organization with this development at 18 with a package of skills and athleticism that he already has, man. It's pretty dang exciting, right? So, but he makes a lot of mistakes, a lot of rookie mistakes. In other words, like stuff like where he jumps up in the air to make a pass, right? And then he ends up turning it over. A lot of things like that, or dribbles into 3 or 4 guys and turns it over where he should have made the pass earlier, should have maybe not have taken the driving lane in the first place, right? So he's making a lot of mistakes like that, but it's okay. It's just like getting it out of him. He's just learning. So it's very exciting. Here he is again with the ball in his hands, going to come off and set this screen right here, get this screen and roll. Very patient. This is not easy for an 18-year-old to do. First off, if you've ever been a point guard out there, first off, just dealing with ball pressure like this makes your life hell, right? For lack of better words. And this guy is probably like two times the size of Primo at this point. He's 18 years old. Who knows how big this dude is right here? Oh wait, is that Best Pawns? Is that Best Pawns? Huge Best Pawns. Anyways, is able to stick his ground. Here comes the double team. It's not supposed to be a double team, but they show trap a little bit right here. You can tell there's a miscommunication here, a late action, defensive rotation. And then here's another like rookie mistake that Primo makes, and it's these one-handed sling passes. And look, this is exactly what I was just talking about. Do you see how he leaves his feet on this pass? First off, he should have dribbled right into either a hesitation move and going to the rim because you got the big on you. You got to take him to the basket, or came off this a little bit harder, give him one little hard dribble and pulled up from 3 because most likely the big is going to sink a little bit. But instead, he leaves his feet, throws a one-handed flip pass to Jeffries on the wing, who's just really not ready for this pass. And really, it's the wrong read. It should have been just, even if he wanted to make this pass, you dribble off here, you come to a 2-footed jump stop, you give a pump fake, a pass fake, and then you let Jeffries come in and you just deliver this pass nice and easy. Look at this. There's no one around. Just a nice and easy pass for probably a wide open 3-pointer, right? So just a little bit of a rookie mistake, but he knows that. Check it out. He's like, yeah, my bad. It's all good. So he does a lot of great, but you got to take the good with the bad right now with Primo. And that's kind of where the question kind of comes in. And it's like, is he going to spend a lot of time in Austin or just a little bit of time in Austin? Excuse me. Right here, this is showing some good heads up by the 18-year-old kid. First off, early to communicate right here. There's the action coming. He's saying switch. Switch doesn't happen though. That's why I'm telling you, there's a lot of miscommunication on this roster right now. But it's okay. It's okay. Look, here comes the action right here. Primo thinks that he's going to be able to get a switch going, but goes underneath the screen, which is a better option for me. I don't think you need to switch all the time. Just go underneath the screen, get through, stay in front of your defender. As soon as his defender takes off back door, Primo again does a great job of kind of keeping his hand out there. You can't really see it right there. You can see that he's sticking his hand out there to make sure that there's no like bounce pass coming through the lane, so it doesn't give up anything back door. Immediately, like we saw last time, this is, again, if you see it more than once, it's a good habit, right? It's a good habit. So here comes Joshua Primo cutting down the lane, and on defense, doesn't chase his guy out to the corner and leave this, paint wide open. He comes off hard, stays, opens up towards the basket, locates the ball, sees that the ball is like up here, and then kind of sinks a little bit more, keeps an eye on his man. Now here, this is where, if they had better communication, it would be a nice and easy switch right here. You let Primo go ahead and bump the big guy who's rolling wide open, and then Jeffries, or who is this? I'm not sure who this is, can take the wide open shooter in the lane. But that's at this level of development, the communication isn't really there, right? So the lack of communication leads to that could have been an open shot. If he had a quicker trigger, that would have been a wide open 3. But no problem. I'm gonna go ahead and close out anyway. Stay in front, stay low. Gives him the bump, not bad. I like this scissor karate chop right here by number 28. Just like, hi-ya! All right. So anyways, ball gets sent out to the corner. Shot goes up. It's a brick. Primo's in the mix on the rebounding scene as well sometimes. And I see him go after rebounds. I don't see him get too many yet. I mean, he has the athleticism, the tools, the length. He's going to grow, man. He's 6'6". He's 18. if I would put money on it right now, I would say he's going to end up being like 6'9", 6'9" with like a 7-foot wingspan. I think he has like a 6'9" wingspan right now, right? So I can see that going up a few inches as well. So give him a few years, and he's got this kind of guard package already where he learned how to be a really efficient shooter in Alabama, but he grew up with the ball in his hands. So now he gets to put that together on the NBA stage. It's going to be fun to watch Spurs Nation over the next few years. I get it now, right? It's like I get the pick. I didn't get to come out here and talk about it, but I was just as shocked as everyone else that we took Primo. But once you learn about him, you understand why. So he's so special, right? And it's because he can do a lot of very hard things already right now at 18. And with poise and like sophistication and what he does, like there's like a whole like mental level to Joshua Primo. And I think that's what the Spurs recognize. Not only does he have all these great tools and this like really unique, a youthful package that you can have for the Spurs, and he can be here for 15 years if he wants to, 20 years, maybe even at 18. You never know. Maybe not 20 years, but he can have a very successful long career here. So it's just, I get it now. I get why we drafted him, man. He's a special kid. He really is. I talk a lot about culture and fit and everything, and he just checks all those boxes, and he's just a really special talent and a talent that is going to need specific care and development, right? Like you can't just throw Joshua Primo to the Kings and expect him to be the next Kobe Bryant, but I think you can throw him to the Spurs and you can expect him to be one of the best shooting guards in the league in about 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And that's the long game that Brian Wright's playing in. And I'm down with it. I'm down with it. We have pieces right now to be competitive now, and he has the upside. So he's going to come off right here, off the wing, I think, right? Where is he? Where is Primo? Oh, here he is. So he was setting the screen. Here we go. So he's setting the screen right now, again, to create the mismatch on the switch. Vest Pons again. He's going to run this pick and roll with the big. They switch back. He ends up going over the screen. You can't really see it, but the defender goes over as well, so he reads the defense. Go ahead, and he rises up. It's a miss, right? But what I was showing there, I think why I put that in was I just wanted to show that he was making right reads, but shoot, I should have made this a little bit smaller so you can see. Here he is off the catch, taking the big man off the dribble. This was the play I think that shocked the world, right? This was the play that sent Spurs Nation to oh my God, Primo has this in his bag. I don't even think Devin Vassell was talking about it after the games. Like I don't even think he knows how good he is or how good he can be. And it's because of plays like this. I mean, dude, Vest Pons is an athletic beast if you've seen him play. And Primo's going to give him the 1-2 dribble. Let me go ahead and pivot away, hop into my Dirk step back free throw line jumper off one leg with a high knee, high release. Look at the touch on this release right here, man. Like, look at that. He has this dude just flying at him and lets it go. It's just there's something about the mechanics of his shot as well. It's just so well taught. The fundamentals, you could tell, were so well taught to Joshua Primo that he's learning how to put together those extremely well taught fundamentals and his athleticism, because I think he's still just growing into his body, and he's able to pull off shots like this. I mean, if this is like a game winner, I mean, he's sending the AT&T Center into a frenzy. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just I don't know. Like, I don't even think he knew. He was like, "Whoa, that went in." He's like, "All right," you know what I mean? So, I mean, just he's showing flashes of greatness. He's showing flashes of oh my God, but he's also showing a lot of a lot of naiveness. So, again, how much time does he spend in Austin? Because he's showing both. He's showing high upside and a lot of development need, right? So I think a year in Austin would be good for him. I mean, more of just coming up and down, really. He doesn't need to spend no time in San Antonio, which I don't think is the case ever, right? I think they always go up and down for practice and things like that. So here's Primo off ball. First off, denying this backdoor pass again. Every time he goes backdoor, doesn't keep following the guy, opens up to the ball. That's a great habit, first of all. If you're a defensive coach out there and you like players that have great defensive tendencies, that's one of them. When you're going back door, get your hand out there to deflect a pass. Don't follow him out. Open up. Stays for help in case it's needed. Doesn't lose his guy. Communicates there, right here, with his teammate Jeffries to pick up the switch. I think that was like a 24-second violation. So it was just great communication here by by Primo, you can tell that he's getting comfortable. He's showing a lot of great passing ability. Hitting the big man on the roller is something that him and actually Joe Wieskamp. I know I'm not talking about Joe Wieskamp at all. That's because he needs to show me something, man. Joe Wieskamp needs to show me a little something. Shoot the ball, Joe. Joe, shoot the ball. Are you watching, Joe Wieskamp? Y'all let him know that I'm telling him right now. Tweet at him or whatever. Joe, shoot the ball. You're here to shoot the ball. Maybe they're not telling you that right now because it's the summer league and a lot of guys need touches and a lot of guys need opportunities. So no one wants to tell him right now. But believe me, once next season starts, if he ever turns down as many shots as he turns down right now, he's never going to see the floor. One, because he can't. I know I don't want to go on a whole thing about Joe Wieskamp. I really like Joe Wieskamp, and that's why I'm kind of hard on him right now. He needs to defend better, one, and he needs to take his shots too. I think he's adjusting right now to the space differential in which he's going to need to get his shot off and how fast his trigger is going to need to improve. His release is nowhere near as quick as it needs to be to get shots off in this league, and it's going to take him time to get there. But I want to see him shoot the ball more, man. He turns down so many shots, but Joshua Primo is able to hit the dime guy, the roller, and he's been able to show that from game to game on a pick and roll. Here's a little error from Joshua Primo, right? So this is just a dumb foul, right? So if I'm in the film room, I'm not leaving this out. I'm not like going, Josh, hey, this is your highlight reel. Let's just break down all the great things. It's like, no, Josh, why the heck are you picking up a foul right here on the wing? Like that's a foul that you don't need. That's a foul that's going to get you sitting down. I mean, he's mad too. He's mad too. He knows right now that he shouldn't have picked that up. It was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. Right here, either he's going to get in front, take the charge, and cut the guy off, or he's going to stay with him, stay on his hip, try to get back in front. But picking up the foul, that's just a little more rookie mistake for you right there. All right, double screen again. Finds the big man rolling. Great pass. Great passer. Let's try it again. Nice open space on the floor. High pick and roll. Defender goes over. This is one of those mistakes I was talking about where he kind of just go ahead and dribbles into a couple guys, right? First off, he has Joe Wieskamp wide open over here on the three. But why pass it to you, Joe? That's what I'm talking about, Joe. Why? Why should Primo even look for you, Joe, if you're just going to catch this ball and not shoot it when you're wide open? Shoot the ball, Joe. Shoot the ball. Joe, you got like 4 more summer league games left, and then you got to wait till October to get run in the G League, and who knows what the G League is going to look like this year? I don't know. It's going to be a gobble. I don't know. So take advantage of your opportunity, Joe. Get your shots off, Joe. Dang, we all know you can stroke it. Look, he's right there. He's ready. But I bet you anything, if you were to get this pass from Primo right now, he wouldn't have shot it. He would have passed it to the corner. Joe would have passed it to the corner. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Anyways. This is a bad read from Primo. He should have made the pass, right? The right read is to make the pass here, or to come under control here and hit the trail guy, the pop guy off the screen, right? Which is 17 up here on the 3-point line. Ends up being a turnover, or almost a turnover. Gets it back, missed shot. Just doesn't go down anyway. So kind of just rookie stuff, right? You got to make better reads than that, or finish. If you're gonna go and dribble through 5 guys and almost turn it over, but then get your ball back, I mean, finish. And clean up your mess, right? Clean up your mess. Anyways, this ball doesn't go in. Let's go back the other way. I don't think there's any footage in here, but something that I did notice a little bit about Joshua Primo, maybe it's just him getting his legs under him, but sprinting back on defense in transition isn't one of his favorite things to do right now. Maybe it's just because he's tired. I think it's more of him just being tired. Here we go. Staying with the play. Again, him and Desmond Bane was putting Primo on Desmond Bane was a tough ask, and he did it for most of the game. So, I mean, shout out to Primo for stepping up to the challenge, man. That was not easy. Here he is going over the screen. Does a good job of just staying in the play, sticking all the way to the end, just being a problem. Number 28, Mr. Karate Chop, man, just says, hiya, get it out of here again. Ball goes up to Joe Wieskamp. Yeah, Joe Wieskamp's like, oh, no, I don't want to dribble up and shoot it. Now, let me just get it up to Devin. Devin's like, I'm going to go top shelf on this kid. And then, nope. Vest Pons is like, nope. I don't know. Maybe I edit that one out of here on purpose so I can't see it again. But he denies Devin Vassell at the rim right here. So that was one nice play, nice block, good D. Anyways, here's Primo again off the screen. Comes back, sees the open space. And this is what I think separates, Primo from DeJounte and Derek. Because I think in the future, Primo is that modern NBA point guard that everyone has, but we don't have. That Trey Young, Luca, guard, that Damian Lillard, that CJ McCollum, and really I'm just talking about those type of guards that look to create at the 3-point line. Steph, right? Obviously, like they look to operate at the 3-point line off screen and rolls. Like Derek and DeJounte are looking to get to the rim or get to the mid range on their pick and rolls and stuff like that, right? Primo is already he's so modern already. So he's 18 and he's able to use this pick, right? This screen and roll and understand, all right, they're just going under, right? These are just kind of like two big guys. So they're going underneath. I'm going to rise up and take this shot. It doesn't go in, but that's the right read. And whenever he starts hitting this at a high level, he's going to be sick. He's going to be sick. All right, so here he is setting up this play. Nice action here for Devin Vassell off the wing. Pick and roll. Right here, you're going to see Primo. Well, you can't see him, but he's ready to shoot. He's going to go ahead and catch this ball from Devin Vassell, let it go. It's a brick shot. Can't see it. I'm just going to keep moving. But it was just a good shot. It just shows his mechanics off ball. He's just ready to go. Here's a little bit of Joshua Primo in transition, right? Kind of understanding that the NBA is a little bit tougher to get to the rim. He's just, over time, he's going to be able to build the strength and awareness to be a more transition threat. I don't really see it in his game right now. So if I'm Joshua Primo, I'm looking to stop right here and pull this thing. Nothing against Primo. He can finish at the rim sometimes, right? He makes really tough finishes at the rim sometimes, but I think that's the point. He's not getting there easily. He's not getting a lot of separation when he's on his way to the rim yet, right? He will. Just let him grow into it. Let him develop. So right now, I would have liked this 3-pointer right there from him, but he go ahead and attack the rim. Missed shot. All right, we're going to look at just a few more plays here. Go ahead and zoom this one in. Here's another error from Primo off the out of bounds play. Now they're probably just headhunting Primo at this point. When they executed pretty well actually out of the out of bounds play. So out of bounds play, they get this back switch. Wieskamp doesn't communicate. There's no communication there. So there's probably should have been a switch here from the two rookies, but no communication. He gets caught behind the ball, and that's an easy bucket. All right, so this is that same out of bounds play that we saw earlier for Devin Vassell, right? Devin Vassell was in this corner spot. He's not there anymore. So we're setting this down screen to get the ball inbounded. Once it's inbounded, he was going to go set this screen, but then it comes back. Whoa, was he supposed to do that? I'm not sure if he was supposed to do that. The screener, because the guy on the wing didn't look like he knew what was happening, right? So I think the guy over here in the corner was going to do what Devin Vassell did earlier, which was come curl off this screen, but play gets a little broken down. Okay. Ends up being a wild pass, almost a turnover. Yeah, ends up being a turnover, right? So it's just showing a little bit of the improvement areas and the decision making that Primo needs to kind of work on. But again, this play was broke. That play was broken from the get-go. What do we got here? Nice pick and roll, step back, wet jumper, right? So this is another one of those plays that you only see some of the elite guys do right now in the NBA, and that's work a pick and roll, create a switch, no hesitation. I don't even know if Primo knew that this was going to work, right? But he did it anyway. He's like, this is what I practice over and over. Hits him with the step back, creates the separation that he needs. He's so balanced. I think that's another impressive quality about his shot is that even off a step back like this, he's going to land balanced and go straight up, straight down on his jumper. And it always gives his jumper a nice arc and a higher percentage, right, to go down, right? So he lets that thing go. And look how high he is off the ground right now. He has to really get up right here. And, that's a high jump shot, 6'6", huge wingspan. Guys, it's special. I'm telling you, it's a special package. I see it now. I don't think anybody saw it draft night, but we're seeing it now at 18. That's the business right there. That's like when someone knocks down a shot like that, the correct response would be, ooh, right? Like, that's work right there. That's the business right there. All right. So anyways, let's keep it moving. This is another one of those. He gets away with this one right here on this pass. Just, this is something I would like to see him do less, right? We always talk about what we want to see him do more. Leaving his feet to make a pass. First off, one pump fake, bro. Pump right there. Manu all day. Y'all remember Manu's pump fake? It was like all the way up here. It was all the way up there. Manu, man. Manu would get you to bite on that pump fake. So anyways, all he needs to do is pump this one right here and then go ahead and take that 3 ball in the corner. But instead makes that rookie mistake, that nervous kind of, like a little bit impulsive decision of going into your shot and then now having to leave and put yourself in a bad position. This could have been a turnover. Luckily, he had 2 guys right here on the wing, makes this pass, and this number 44 guy is just sinking down in the lane. So, not a bad read. I think the shot goes down. No. Yeah, there you go. Shot goes down. So it ends up not being, a terrible thing for the team, right? But if you want to see him get real NBA minutes and develop into a real NBA star, he has to do stuff like this a little less, right? So, that's just kind of like one of the little nitpicks that I have on Primo's play right now. But that's something that like gets drilled out of you, and like when you play as many games as like the G League or the NBA season is, it usually a lot of those bad habits get expunged from you, and that's from coaching. Coaching does that, right? So here he is again, just attacking his spot. Nice little dude. This is a nice move right here. Great footwork off the pivot right here. Turns on his back leg. Man, what a contest too. What a contest. He was there with a hand in his face, but when he's pulling away like that and he's still able to go, he's so athletic, man. I mean, bro, he didn't even really get to like load up on this jump shot. He turns right here and is already able to gather all that energy, get up, that contest right there in his face, gets it off, and it just goes down, right? So the shots that he hit in this game, guys, were just so ahead of his game, just so intense, man. So it really showed a lot of the flash, right? A lot of the flashing signs of, hey, man, this kid has a skill set, a package that's pretty hard to teach, and he's got it already at 18 years old, right? So just very intense. All right, so that was the film breakdown for Devin Vassell and Joshua Primo. Guys, thank you for hanging out. If you want to support the show, check out the link in the description below. There's a bunch of links in the description below for Fanatics, Rally House, if you're looking for Spurs gear. If you're looking for tickets, there's a ticket link for ticketdistributors.com. If you guys want to check any of those out, check out the links in the description below. But you really do go above and beyond by, just watching, man. I can't thank you guys enough on YouTube that are subscribing, hitting that like button, chanting that Go Spurs Go when you do. It makes all the difference for me over here, guys. So thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun. This was the Devin Vassell, Joshua Primo film room for the last game in the Utah Summer League against the Memphis Grizzlies. That was a great game. They had a great game tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves, right? I kind of previewed that earlier in the show. Let me go ahead and kind of head over there. Let me see. Right, so they lost 89-91. What I would like to do is break down the fourth quarter of this game. It was a great fourth quarter. But I believe the Spurs play again tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So I might have to just kind of bundle film on Wednesday. So just stay tuned. I'll let you guys know what I'm going to end up doing Wednesday. I might have a guest on, or I might do a film room. It's going to be one or the other, right? So thank you guys, man. First off, for just hanging out with me, and what's up to the chat room, man? Sorry, I've neglected this chat room the whole time, man. So I got right to work on this one. Sean Kelly, thank you for the tip, my man. Appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. Frenchie Betts, Patreon member. What's going on? Shout out to my Patreon subscribers and members, man. You guys really make the difference and keep the lights on. Sean Kelly, you as well. The tips, guys, I have a tip jar link in the description below too. If you just want to just drop a tip to the show, you want to help the show support the show that way, go for it, man. You can only donate $1, $5, whatever. Either way, man, just thank you again just for watching, subscribing to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, comment, share this video, chant Go Spurs Go when you do. It's been a lot of fun. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. I was going to make this announcement on Wednesday, but since I have like 55 of you guys in here right now, from next week on, I've already let my Patreon members know, but the show is going to be moved from Monday and Wednesdays to Tuesdays and Thursdays. And also from 6 p.m. usually was our start time. I'm going back to work, so I have to push that back. So the show most likely will be starting at 8:30 p.m. Central on Tuesdays and Thursdays now. All right, starting next week, right? We'll still get a Wednesday episode this week, but starting next week, it's going to be a Tuesday, Thursday show, right? So got a lot of stuff planned for you guys in the future, and we'll talk a lot about that as the month goes on. So very exciting stuff. Go Spurs Go. I'll catch you guys on the next episode. I hope you had a wonderful day. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. Go Spurs Go. If you're a podcast listener, check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. All right. So Check you guys out on the next one.
Hey, isn't we supposed to be having a fiesta?
Watch this.
As we work this two-man game, the Spurs did a lot of like two-man game, three-man game against the Clippers, like where they literally just put guys out in the corner and they just stayed in the corner the whole time, and we just kind of worked our little two-man, three-man game either in the pick and roll or with, you know, the big passing from the high post or something like that, right? So the Spurs are doing a lot of this, and we've been doing a lot of this, and if we can just get Devin Vassell the ball in these types of situations where, you know, he gets to kind of create in space, right? That's something that Devin Vassell is already at such a high level of doing, right? At doing as a second-year player, and he showed flashes of doing this as a rookie too. We didn't utilize it, right? So Devin Vassell working off this corner is something that he's been improving on a lot. He can do a lot from this corner. He can hit the shot. He can hit you with the one dribble move, and he can just give and go from the corner like this too, man. That's just impressive, right? So he's gonna work Kennard, give him that one fake, you know, going the other way, and then he's going to come and receive this little handoff, nice and easy. You know, the lack of communication here from the Clippers is what's going to give up this basket, because, you know, here we see Kennard, and I think that's is it Hartsbane or Harts something? I don't know, something like that. It's a cool name. It was a cool name from this German kid. But as Kennard tries to, you know, stick with Devin Vassell off this little handoff, I mean, a few things the Clippers could have done better, right? The Clippers he could have fought over this screen a little bit more. But we've been talking about bigs don't come out and guard anymore. They just kind of sink and protect the rim. So that's what Hartsbane's going to do. And, you know, if Kennard is going to get jammed up like this on this screen, well, Devin Vassell is going to have all this open space. He's going to have all this open space to work. And, you know, Vassell does a great job of just knowing that I'm open. And when I'm open, I'm going to hit it. You know, so this is just a great play from Devin Vassell, showing that he knows just exactly when to get a shot off. Right, great play here from Devin Vassell and Thaddeus Young. And oh, it was the inbound play. Okay, so this was an inbound play. Okay, cool. So DeJounte is starting out of bounds here, right? This is not where you want to inbound the ball. First off, in the corner, this is an extra defender here on the sideline, right? This is an extra defender right here. This is an extra defender right here, and then you got 3 defenders right here. So the fact that the Spurs were able just to get anything out of this play here is pretty awesome, right? That's lucky for the Spurs, man, right there. Not lucky, man, because we're going to see Devin Vassell just do what he do here. So, again, Devin Vassell catching in the corner. This two-man game, we're going to spread the floor out. First thing we're going to do is balance. And then, you know, great patience here from, first off, great patience from Thaddeus Young. Great patience here, waiting for Lonnie Walker and Murray to get out of there so he can come and show up. Now, with this whole area of the floor, check this out. This is great habits from the Spurs. Look at DeJounte Murray and Derek White in the backside. This is great stuff. Great habits. Or who's that? Is that Bryn Forbes? Bryn Forbes and DJ. Good off-ball movement. But we're isolating this whole area of the floor here for this action, just to see what we can create out of it, right? So, you know, this is a little two-man game action that the Spurs are doing. Anyways, just a great shot here from, I don't know who teaches this type of closeout from Boston. Look at that. Just hop in right there, you're beat, bro. And then he's like, I'm just going to rip right through this guy and get there before the big does, right? Because when the defense isn't set, this is a great job of Derek White just knowing to keep pushing the pace, man. So Derek has had a lot of offensive struggles, but whereas he has had struggles shooting the ball, he's been just as brilliant in my eyes at offensively keeping the pace, right? And then defensively, I think Derek White is probably competing for one of the best. While he's not shooting the ball well, everyone likes to just talk about, okay, you know, like Derek's not shooting well, bench him for Devin Vassell. And, you know, I was talking to Zach Montana on the postgame show the other day, and you know, I was telling him, I was like, a lot of people are just forgetting that there's 2 sides to the basketball, and Derek White is killing it on this side, on the defensive side. So here he is, just kind of catching this ball from KJ, and honestly, just attacks 2 guys. That's not something you really teach people to do, but he knew that the advantage was still for the Spurs, so he just kept cutting away and gets all the way to the rim, gets rewarded. He's looking at Bledsoe, so that's what Murray's doing right now. So that's great point guard vision. Y'all guys want to know what point guard vision is? It's this, right? Jay scanned the floor. When he got that rebound, he turned around and went the other way, right? And started looking at what's going on in transition. He's seeing that Bledsoe right here is not really aware that, you know, he has Tre Jones coming down here on the backside. And so really that leaves all the communication between these two guys to figure this out. And Murray is just going to keep pushing the pace and keep attacking off this point, right? Finds Tre Jones just with a nice pass. Tre Jones, man, one dribble. Takes it right to Bledsoe. Great finish. Great finish from Tre Jones. First off, spacing. We talked about it. You got Devin Vassell playing the 4 up here. You got Tre Jones out here in the corner. I guess he's your 2. Murray's handling the ball. Let me bring this a little bit closer here. There we go. Murray's handling the ball up here. And then you got Lonnie Walker over here. And then you got Thad, who's going to come and initiate this pick and roll here with DeJounte Murray. So this is where you start, right? So this is where you start, and it's just spacing. We talked about it earlier. The Spurs don't really do anything set. They're not trying to like execute you to death. That's really not what they do. The Spurs are all about free flowing attack and read and react. It's almost like a read and react Kansas hoops style offense, right? We're just creating and seeing what the defense gives us, and we're going to trust ourselves to kind of make the right play and just to stay in attack mode. Something good is going to find. We're going to find something good. That's winning basketball, if you were to say. So we're going to come and set this pick and roll, and Murray's going to do a great job of just coming off this screen and drawing the defense, right? Because here you got the defense on the help side. We'll focus on them here because, you know, let's look at Zubac here for a second. Zubac is you know, sinking into the paint, so we don't even really got to worry about him, right? Zubac is right here. We don't got to worry about the big man. He's hanging out in the paint, right? And so as Murray kind of comes and attacks and creates, comes off this pick and roll, keeps the ball in his outside hand, does a great job. Now, you know, you guys saw it right now. Look at this guy. Look at Tre Jones, man. Look at Tre Jones in the corner. Somebody take a screenshot of this and send it to Pop and tell him Tre Jones is ready. Look at him. He is ready to play. That's textbook too. Waiting in that corner, not just with your hands down, standing straight up, you know, like you know, he's ready to attack, right? So he sees this ball coming. You got Reggie Jackson, who he's reading. That's what we gotta pay attention to, is this little matchup here. And Tre Jones is gonna know exactly when to cut back door. And that's just because Murray's going to do a great job of just making Reggie Jackson have to pick up help, because we got his defender kind of logged up back here, right? So Murray's going to stay here in attack mode and kind of stay attacking in this direction. And it's all on Reggie Jackson at this point, right? So Tre Jones knows this, and Tre Jones does a good job of just reading the defense, right? So as this play develops, as soon as Reggie Jackson has his head turned and looking at the ball, here comes Tre Jones, right? Cutting back door, cutting right behind his head. Tre Jones is like a textbook basketball player, and he's able to catch this thing, get to a jump stop at like 6 foot, and put it in the hole like that, flush it on you. Man, showing off some sneaky athleticism as well. Great cut, great patience, and really it's just off of a Reggie Jackson. What am I saying? Reggie. Okay, yeah. Yeah, anyways, there we go. Yeah, great cut there from Tre Jones, man. That's good stuff. Textbook stuff, and it's just good spacing. And, you know, right here, working out of the corner, drawing the defender, Murray did. As soon as his eyes were over there, he cut back door. Spurs aren't doing anything too fancy, guys. They're just playing basketball. Spurs are just playing basketball.